Chapter 948. Fong Ping led a few people and quickly left the group. Meanwhile, the Divine Court army encountered Qi Huanyu, who had just escaped. Boom! Energy exploded, and the wind and clouds surged. The surrounding scenery was changing at a frightening speed. Qi Huanyu held his spear and frowned as he looked at the golden-armored young man. He said slowly, "You're under the Second King's command?" "The Divine Court army." The golden-armored young man replied with a solemn expression. This person was extremely powerful. He was a true king in the past. After exchanging blows with the young man, Qi Huanyu made a judgment and said indifferently, "It's a pity that it's been a long time, and he's only comparable to a level 10 origin source cultivator." That was all. Even he himself was a level 10 origin source expert, but to him, level 10 origin source seemed very simple. The golden-armored young man remained silent, but Qi Huanyu suddenly struck with his spear, tearing through space and repelling a stone sculpture puppet. "Emperor Corpse?" Qi Huanyu frowned and said, "He's not weak. Another level 10 origin realm. Furthermore, it was much stronger than ordinary level 10 origin source cultivators. You're not weaker than Zhao Xingwu. The other golden armors probably have the strength of the top 30 on the Wind Cloud leaderboard. On top of that, there was a group of powerful fighters who could be ranked in the top 500 of the Wind Cloud ranking list. They were very powerful. I didn't expect the Second King to struggle on his last legs to this day, and still have a group of people alive under him." The young man did not speak, but the soldiers under him moved in an orderly manner. Their footsteps were light, and if one did not look closely, they would not even be able to detect it. But who was Qi Huanyu? The Vice Hall Master of the Destiny Palace led the Destiny Royal Court in battle. Seeing this, he said indifferently, "You don't need to do that in front of this old man. If you want to surround and kill this old man, perhaps you can do it, but not now. It won't be a problem for this old man to hold on until the others sense it. In this way, you'll be exposed to everyone, and only death awaits you. The Divine Court army does not fear death. It's easy to say that you aren't afraid of death, but aren't you afraid of failing the mission?" After saying that, Qi Huanyu said with a faint smile, "There's no need for us to fight right now. We haven't even arrived at the spatial battlefield yet. If we fight now, won't we be benefiting others?" The golden-armored youth looked at him, not saying a word. Qi Huanyu was very powerful. The moment they exchanged blows, he was actually at a slight disadvantage. One had to know that he was a true God realm powerhouse back then. However, after so many years of hibernation, his injuries had yet to heal, and the intrinsic nature of his strength had deteriorated. Even so, he should have been invincible among reciprocity realm experts. But today, someone had really reached the limit of rank 9. The young man did not know how humans calculated things. Otherwise, he would know that Qi Huanyu's maximum strength was as high as 400,000 calories. In other words, even if the weakest paragon did not use his origin path and had a basic vitality of 200,000 calories, even if there was a qualitative change, he would still be on par with Qi Huanyu. If Zhu Feng entered the king battlefield, he would probably not dare to use his origin Dao. As such, Qi Huanyu had the ability to kill the weak absolute pinnacle cultivators here, unless the other party disregarded their own lives and unleashed their source Dao. Even a rank 9 would feel a sense of crisis when he unleashed his origin Dao here. If he unleashed it at the peak, it would definitely trigger an attack from the chaos origin. The stronger it was, the easier it was to trigger. For someone as strong as the two kings, if they used it even a little, it would likely cause their source to be thrown into chaos, and the place where the kings fought would explode. Qi Huanyu tapped his toes lightly and left his original spot instantly. In the blink of an eye, he appeared somewhere else. Without looking at where he had been earlier, he chuckled and said, "I see that you guys are heading to the grade 8 domain to kill the martial artist who had been resurrected." Martial artist who had been resurrected? Or the martial artist from the human world that you guys mentioned? Are they the ones in front? The young man in golden armor understood. So, they were martial artists from the human world. Qi Huanyu saw that he did not seem to mind, and chuckled again. "In your eyes, martial artists from the human world are very weak, right?" The young man in golden armor said lightly. The Heavenly Court Army will not underestimate any powerhouse. In the past, the human world was strong too. When the Heavenly Court Army was still around, there were powerhouses in the human world too, but there were very few of them. Now that thousands of years have passed, as soon as he said that, several Emperor Venerable Corpse puppets suddenly appeared around Qi Huanyu. The other golden-armored powerhouses also flew through the air. Spears pierced through the void, directly sealing the void as they charged toward Qi Huanyu. The young man's speed was also extremely fast. Like lightning, the spear left his hand, collapsing the void as it charged toward Qi Huanyu. I guessed it. Qi Huanyu sneered, but did not take the attack head-on. He stabbed his spear toward the sky, wanting to tear the void and leave. At this moment, Qi Huanyu frowned. Unknowingly, a thin layer had appeared in the void. Hundreds of blood-armored warriors around him roared and pointed their spears at the sky, roaring, "Dragon trap!" Waves of energy erupted from the spears, sealing the void. Qi Huanyu's expression changed. The young man harumphed coldly. In the past, a team of the Heavenly Court Army could kill a true god. A team of 100 people could kill a true god. Right now, these veterans were not facing a true god. With the help of the captains, it would not be difficult for them to kill this person. If this person was so arrogant, they would not be able to do anything to him if he wanted to escape. However, the other party was not leaving and was filled with confidence. They had to kill him. Attack! The young man hollered. Including himself, there were a total of 6 golden-armored powerhouses. Their spears formed a battle formation and a blood-colored spear shot out from the sky, the ground, the front, the back, the left, and the right. The 6 spears released a shocking bloody aura at this moment. Moreover, the 6 spears seemed to be connected as one, and the auras of these people seemed to be fusing. I've underestimated you. Qi Huanyu let out a low roar, waving his spear and sweeping it across one of the spears. The sound of collision was heard, but the impact had torn the web between his thumb and index finger. This time, Qi Huanyu's expression changed. 6 of them as one. One of them might not be his match. However, the auras of the 6 people were fusing, and he actually could not withstand it. He had been too arrogant. This time, Qi Huanyu truly realized that he had been too arrogant. He had been invincible in rank 9 for too long. Even if there were hundreds of rank 9s here, he was not too worried. Even if he could not kill the other party, escaping was not a problem. There were many powerhouses on Fang Ping's side earlier, but he still killed them and escaped. Now, however, he was trapped. The blood-armored warriors gradually closed in around him. The more they closed in, the stronger the thin film was and the closer it was to him. Humph! A cold snort was heard. Qi Huanyu no longer cared about the thin film. With a low roar, a glaring light erupted from his spear, and he stabbed at one of the golden-armored powerhouses. The spear blocked his way. Qi Huanyu directly grabbed one of the spears with one hand. The flesh on his arm was instantly sliced off by the sharp gleam. His golden bones and the gleam collided, producing a series of metallic sounds. Qi Huanyu did not care at all. His speed was extremely fast. His spear appeared and disappeared like a ghost, sending one of the golden-armored powerhouses flying dozens of meters away with one strike. The other 5 quickly closed in. The Emperor Venerable Corpse puppet also attacked swiftly. The other 5 spears also arrived at an extremely fast speed, sealing the void again. The golden-armored youth and a corpse puppet joined forces to attack, forcing Qi Huanyu, who had almost broken out of the encirclement, to retreat. Since you're here, don't leave. The youth was indifferent. How could it be that easy to leave? Qi Huanyu's expression was solemn. He did not say a word. His spear protected his body so that not even a drop of water could enter. The spears kept retreating. The powerhouses that were sent flying also returned at this moment. The 6 golden-armored powerhouses no longer controlled them from afar. One by one, they grabbed their spears, roared, and charged at Qi Huanyu again. The blood-armored warriors around him were getting closer and closer. Qi Huanyu felt as if he was about to be enveloped by a layer of thin film. He had a hunch that once he was enveloped, He might really die here today. These people were extremely terrifying. Sensing the danger, Chi Huanyu suddenly shouted, "Do you guys want to see me being surrounded and killed by them? Once I'm dead, which one of you can fight against them?" There was no sound in the surroundings. The golden-armored youth frowned slightly and sensed the mirror in his arms. There were many red dots around him. However, no one appeared at this moment. Ignoring the red dots, the youth stabbed his spear again. This time, he broke through Chi Huanyu's spear defense and pierced his chest. The spear pierced through his body, directly piercing through his chest. Chi Huanyu roared again, "Short-sighted fool." At this moment, someone chuckled in the dark. "He's very strong indeed." However, Chi Huanyu, you're known as the #1 person below the true kings. If you're so easily surrounded and killed, then so be it. Fong Ping. Chi Huanyu's expression changed slightly. Suddenly, he swept his spear horizontally, causing cracks to appear on the armor of a golden-armored warrior that had just gotten close to him. He roared, "There's still room for negotiation between us. The subordinates of the two kings won't say a word to you." 1,000 meters away, Fong Ping stood in the air, looking at them from afar. In reality, he could not see anything as the scene changed too quickly. However, his mentality could still sense what was happening over there. Fong Ping ignored Chi Huanyu and stared at the golden-armored powerhouses. After a while, he took a deep breath and said, "They're very strong. I'm afraid none of the 6 golden-armored warriors are weaker than me. That leader can even fight the top 5 powerhouses one-on-one. With those emperor corpses, they're even stronger." Jiang Kuei said in a low voice, "Be careful. Those are the most elite heavenly court troops under the two kings. They're the elites of the earthly emperor god dynasty, not the sky plan army and heavenly mandate army when the 2 royal courts were established. Ordinary golden-armored warriors are centurions. They form a team of 100 and can fight a true god." Of course, that was in the past. Now, these golden-armored centurions seem to have not recovered from their injuries. 5 ordinary golden-armored warriors can only command 100 people. Looks like there's not enough manpower. He continued, "These are ordinary golden-armored warriors. Look at the leader. He's wearing the earthly emperor helmet. There's a blood-red color at the core of the helmet. He's a powerhouse of a higher level. He's a 1,000-man general." Beside him, Xianhua said softly, "During the earthly emperor god dynasty, there were 1,000,000 heavenly court troops. Not all of them were origin powerhouses. Among them, there are 100,000 elites. Among the 100,000 heavenly court elites, 1,000 generals are true gods, and the 10,000 generals are all emperors. This person must have been seriously injured and hasn't recovered yet, causing his rank to drop. Otherwise, he would be a true god powerhouse." Fong Ping exclaimed, 100,000 elites? All rank 9? That means there are 100 true gods among the 1,000 generals and 10 emperors? Even more, Xianhua explained, there are powerhouses among the other 900,000 heavenly court troops too. Although they're not as good as the elites, I'm afraid there are no fewer true gods and emperors. There are 200 true gods among the heavenly court troops and 20 emperors? Fong Ping smiled. That sounds like a lot, but if I think about it carefully, this might not be enough for the demon emperor god dynasty to suppress the 3 realms. Looks like they have other military forces. The heavenly court troops are the main force for suppressing the 3 realms. The earthly emperor god dynasty has other halls. For example, the 2 kings weren't part of the heavenly court troops back then. They only fled with part of the heavenly court troops later. As he spoke, Chi Huanyu had already unleashed his power. His spear gleamed and was unstoppable. As he unleashed his power, the 6 golden-armored warriors began to retreat. However, they still could not escape the blockade. Jiang Yin frowned. Not attacking? If Chi Huanyu is killed, it'll be very troublesome to face this group of people next. Fong Ping narrowed his eyes. If he dies, so be it. This fellow is too arrogant. How dare he attack our people? It's good that he's killed. Xianhua advised. If he dies, we might have to face these people. It'll be very troublesome. We have a lot of origin powerhouses, but we might not be their match. Although he said it might not be, Xianhua felt that they were definitely not their match. These soldiers of the Divine Court Army were all experienced warriors. Although there were 209th rank soldiers among them, if they were to really fight against these people, they could still win even if they were all killed and half of their opponents were injured or killed. Qi Huanyu won't die so easily. Fang Ping did not care about that. He stared at Qi Huanyu, who was unleashing his power. Right now, Qi Huanyu was tearing the space around him again and again. However, there was a thin membrane outside that he could not tear and escape. He was very powerful. It was not that easy to tear the space again and again in the king battlefield. However, not only did Qi Huanyu manage to do it despite being besieged by so many powerhouses, he even sent the golden-armored warriors flying. This fellow's strength was really frighteningly powerful. However, the golden-armored youth was also very powerful. He fought Qi Huanyu head-on and left unhealable wounds on Qi Huanyu's body several times. Judging by the current situation, Qi Huanyu might really be killed. Xianhua and the rest were a little worried. Fang Ping watched for a while and suddenly laughed. Qi Huanyu, I'll help you call for reinforcements. There are 500 god generals in the catacombs. What are you afraid of? It'll be a piece of cake for just 100 people to kill them. Hold on for another minute. I'll call for reinforcements for you. No one responded. Fang Ping rubbed his chin and said playfully, it's better if it's a little chaotic. Now that everyone is separated, it's not chaotic enough. You guys, I'll have to trouble you to make a trip and attract the powerhouses from the other territories. I'm a person who likes to end battles quickly. Previously, all three parties were restraining themselves and couldn't engage in a chaotic battle. Now that Second King's people are here, it's just in time. Are you sure? Zhang Kui looked at him and said in a low voice, if that's the case, I'm afraid we won't be able to get away from here. It's fine. Fang Ping waved his hand. Then he stared at the golden-armored and blood-armored warriors and said with a smile, the armors are very good. The blood-colored armors are probably made from rank 9 monster materials. As for the golden-armored ones, I think they're made from peak rank 9 demons, at least mixed with some other materials. Do you guys think we'll be rich if we kill this team and seize these armors? The few of them frowned. Where did this fellow get his confidence from? He had been brimming with confidence since he entered. However, in reality, their side did not have any advantage. Qi Huanyu had even ambushed and killed a few of them earlier. Go on, you guys. Otherwise, if this goes on, I think Qi Huanyu will really be killed. It's fine if he's killed, but if he's dead, who's going to deal with these golden-armored powerhouses? Then I'll stay here for a while. I'll leave if there's any danger later. Fang Ping maintained a distance of more than 1,000 meters from the other side. He dared not get surrounded. If even Qi Huanyu could not get away, if he was surrounded, he might be trapped as well. After hearing his words, the few of them considered for a moment and left one after another. After waiting for them to leave, Fang Ping laughed and suddenly sped up, disappearing on the spot in the blink of an eye. Not only did he disappear, but his aura also disappeared after a while. In the outside world, on the wind cloud list, Fang Ping's name, which was ranked 33rd, suddenly dimmed. Taoist Fengyun's apparition shuddered slightly. The human world's leading powerhouse was dead? This was too unexpected. Taoist Fengyun wanted to say something, but suddenly fell silent. It was extremely quiet everywhere. Only some people in the void were slightly alarmed. However, the powerhouses of the 4 royal courts, without exception, acted as if they did not see anything. This scene was exceptionally strange. Including Zhang Tao and the others, they looked indifferent too. Fang Ping was dead? Did they believe it? They did not believe it anyway. They would pretend that they did not see it. If anyone thought that Fang Ping was dead just like that, they would be underestimating Fang Ping. Moreover, the powerhouses of the human world did not suffer any losses, but Fang Ping was dead. No one would believe it even if they said it out. Even Fake King and the others who were extremely hostile to Fang Ping did not gloat at this moment. On the peak, the sickly Li Zhu chuckled and said, Taoist Fengyun, Looks like your imitation divine peeking mirror is not very effective. Fake King also said coldly, a bunch of people who hide their heads but show their tails. What can they do? Maple King also smiled faintly. Fong Ping is dead? Taoist Feng Yun, why don't you collect Fong Ping's corpse too? If you do, I'll think more highly of you. These true king powerhouses spoke one after another. In the void, some venerable emperors were a little surprised. Someone said, is Fong Ping really the reincarnation of unquestionable? I'm afraid not. If that's the case, why did the wind cloud list unquestionable? Taoist Feng Yun, you guys know that unquestionable is still alive, right? If he did not know, or if he had reincarnated, why would unquestionable be listed? Taoist Feng Yun was silent for a moment, then said slowly, Fong Ping probably isn't the reincarnation of unquestionable. Of course, I'm not sure either. However, 10 years ago, unquestionable seemed to have appeared once. If Fong Ping is unquestionable, then he's too good at hiding. How old was Fong Ping 10 years ago? Fong Ping's past was traceable. He did not appear out of thin air. It was possible to say that he was a reincarnation, but the possibility of him being unquestionable and hiding was not high. Everyone quieted down again. Only they knew what they were thinking. However, the probability of Fong Ping being unquestionable was not high. Someone thought for a while and asked, is Fong Ping the reincarnation of an ancient venerable emperor? I don't know. Taoist Feng Yun smiled. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you guys or the martial king. Zhang Tao said calmly. Maybe he's the reincarnation of Heavenly Hound. Be careful. Everyone, many of Heavenly Hound's old friends are still alive. As soon as he said that, everyone was silent. Someone said in disbelief, reincarnation of the Heavenly Emperors? Was Fong Ping the reincarnation of Heavenly Hound? Everyone was in disbelief at first. Then, they suddenly became suspicious. Song Mao. It was said that Song Mao was following Fong Ping now. This was one of the reasons. Secondly, Fong Ping's luck was extremely prosperous. In just a few years, he had cultivated to this stage. This was definitely not something an ordinary person could do. He must be the reincarnation of a powerhouse. Thirdly, his personality. Those who were familiar with Fong Ping, or those who had investigated Fong Ping, were a little dazed at this moment. Some of the ancient venerable emperors had also investigated Fong Ping's information. At this moment, someone murmured, rebellious, arrogant, overbearing, vengeful, greedy. Large amounts of imperishable substance. Heavenly Emperor had once robbed a large amount of imperishable substance, even stealing some grandmasters and Sex Lake of Eternity. The more they went on, the more dazed some people became. It seemed really similar. Zhang Tao did not care about them, continuing to drink his tea. Who knew? He did not know anything in the past, but since he knew that Heavenly Emperor was Heavenly Hound, and he also knew that this kid Fong Ping used to say that he was Heavenly Emperor, not to mention, it was really possible. Song Mao did not recognize him. Maybe he did not say it on purpose? That fellow indeed had a dog's temper. He was born in the year of the dog, changing his attitude faster than flipping a book. Zhang Tao listened to everyone's words, chuckling and not explaining. He was just casually saying it. It was up to them whether they believed it or not. Heavenly Hound still had some powerhouse friends, although there were also many enemies. However, most of the enemies were dead, but his friends, at least the few who helped Song Mao last time, were still on good terms with Heavenly Hound. If he could really trick a few venerable emperor powerhouses to help, Zhang Tao did not mind letting Fong Ping pretend to be Heavenly Hound. Human and material evidence were all there. For example, a certain cat had personally said that Fong Ping was Heavenly Hound. Was this evidence enough? At this moment, no one actually believed that Fong Ping was dead. Fong Ping's name had been extinguished, but it did not cause the slightest ripple. Some powerhouses knew that Fong Ping could conceal his aura. At this moment, most people thought so. Perhaps he had concealed his aura, and the fake divine peeking mirror was not powerful enough to detect Fong Ping's existence. This was very normal. In the Imperial battleground, Fong Ping did not know that the people outside had so much trust in him. If they knew, they would probably curse. If he was really dead, then no one would care? He was beaten to death inside, while Zhang Tao and the others were laughing and chatting outside. This scene was too beautiful. Fang Ping did not expect this to happen. At this moment, Fang Ping concealed his aura and left the spot. After a while, Fang Ping sneaked back, once again returning to the area 1,000 meters away from the battlefield. Is Qi Huanyu really dead? 1 against 100, even a normal rank 9 would be in danger. Not to mention, there were so many powerhouses. At this moment, Qi Huanyu's golden body had already begun to crumble. If this went on, he might be killed in 30 seconds, let alone a minute. Fang Ping was a little speechless. This guy was an invincible rank 9. He had been arrogant for so many years, and now he was killed so easily. His death was too simple. Fang Ping had trusted him so much, hadn't he? Fang Ping trusted him very much. He had always thought that this guy could only be killed by him. In the end, Fang Ping would feel very disappointed if he died so easily. After staring at Qi Huanyu for a while, Fang Ping looked at the Divine Court army again, his expression somewhat solemn. How did these fellows manage to create such a barrier? Even Qi Huanyu was unable to escape. Could he really trap Ju Pinnacle? A joint attack? Fang Ping had heard of this term before. It was said that it could integrate a person's aura into one, allowing a rank 9 to possess the strength of a paragon. Could this be it? However, this was only a trapping array. The 6 golden armors seemed to have a joint attack technique, but it did not seem to have reached the pinnacle, right? These people are very strong. I have to be careful. Fang Ping was alarmed, but he did not show it on his face. Soon, Fang Ping's gaze turned to the golden armored side. These people were methodically advancing slowly, as if they were not worried that others would rush over to rescue them. It's just 100 people. If they were to be surrounded, no matter how strong they are, they would still die, right? The second king's men were so bold. Were they not afraid of death? Now that he's dead, second prince will be in trouble. It would have been better if those people had been working in the dark, but they've made such a big fuss just to kill Qi Huanyu. Aren't they being exposed now? Fang Ping was a little confused. These guys had the upper hand. Fang Ping had not expected the second prince to have so many people under his command. He had thought that there were only corpse puppets. Corpse puppet? Fang Ping's gaze flickered. Where was the corpse puppet? How much is this place? There were only a few emperor corpses. What about those true god corpse puppets? No, there were still a large number of rank 8s and rank 9s who died in battle back then. Golden bodies would not decay so quickly. He had seen a few in the king battlefield previously. That's right. I don't think I've seen a single one. Fang Ping looked at the sky. Could it be that the ruins that had been explored all these years had all been taken away? However, there were too many rank 8s and rank 8s who died in battle back then. There were already thousands of true gods. There should be at least 10,000 rank 8s and rank 8s, right? Even if there were people who were annihilated directly, could it be that they were all annihilated? There were corpses in the rank 6 and 7 regions, and there were still buildings preserved. This meant that the battle back then did not affect much in the outside world. Most of it was still in the space battlefield. Rank 8 and 9 did not enter the space battlefield to fight. Something's not right. Fang Ping frowned. Did he miss something? Chapter 949. What did I miss? Fang Ping was still racking his brains. At the same time, the commotion here was too big. Powerhouses from all sides began to gather here. Second Imperial Lord's men have appeared. The Divine Palace army is not dead yet. Kill them. Kill the Divine Court army first. These people have killed too many of our fellow disciples in the past. On the human side, soon, someone returned from scouting ahead and shouted, Second Imperial Lord's men have appeared. They are former Divine Palace army powerhouses. They are surrounding Qi Huanyu. The remnants of the Divine Palace army are gathering to rescue Qi Huanyu. Divine Palace army? Among the crowd, a Grandmaster bellowed, the Divine Palace army is not dead yet. Too many people had died in the battle against the earthly Emperor God dynasty. The Divine Palace army was the executioner who had killed the most. The hatred between both sides was as deep as the ocean. Guardian Wu, Minister Wu. The Divine Palace army has appeared. The second Imperial Lord has used all his trump cards. What are we going to do? Quickly kill them and surround them. That's right. Everyone, the Divine Palace army is our enemy. We must kill them. The crowd was raging. The few grandmasters' faces turned cold. Wu Chuan frowned slightly. Wu Quishan said in a low voice, "Everyone, since the other party is besieging Qi Huanyu, then let the catacombs do it. Let them fight it out while we watch from the sidelines." Short-sighted. Hong Ji berated. How short-sighted? Do you know how powerful the Divine Palace army is? 100 of them can kill a god, especially those who had not died yet. They were all the elites among them. If we ignore them now, we'll all die once the remnants of the Divine Palace army collapse. At that, even Su Bing, a grandmaster who looked like a nice guy, said solemnly, "The Divine Palace army's combat strength is unparalleled. 100 of them killing a god is not a rumor, but a fact. These people also know the strategy that the earthly emperor created. 3 to a team, 5 to a team, 10 to an invincible rank 9. Back then, there were countless grandmasters and overseas immortal islands powerhouses. The earthly emperor god dynasty did not have as many true gods, emperors, or rank 9s as we do. However, in the battle that destroyed the divine dynasty, both sides suffered heavy losses. Among them, the Divine Court Army was the most crucial. Back then, the 1 million Divine Court Army had killed no less than 20 true gods. You haven't experienced that era, so you don't understand how scary they are. These people are even scarier than you neo-martial artists. Su Bing directly mentioned the term neo-martial artists, obviously acknowledging that neo-martial artists could represent a race. However, in his eyes, the new martial artists were not as scary as the Divine Court Army. They were a group of madmen, a group of experts who only lived to kill. Slaying the gods. Below true divinities, all were ants. However, back then, these ants had killed more than 20 real gods, not to mention the experts who had been held back and killed in the end. The kill referred to the number of real gods killed by their rank 9 powerhouses. It was too terrifying, Su Bing said solemnly. Department Head Wu, you must take this matter seriously. We can't let them kill the catacombs martial artists, or else something big will happen. At this time, Wang Hanyue also pondered and said, Indeed, we need to be cautious. As for the Divine Court Army, Dragon Transformation also participated in that war back then. It was very scary. They are a group of butchers. If the catacombs are defeated, we will all be in big trouble. This was not one person persuading them. Wu Quishan and Wu Chuan looked at each other, then at Kong Lingyuan. Kong Lingyuan frowned slightly and said, So, we have to stop them? No, we have to surround and kill them. Hong Ji said coldly, If they don't die and we suffer heavy losses later, the Divine Court Army will be invincible. We all understand the principle of being interdependent without the lips. We can't just watch from the sidelines anymore. That's right. Let's go and help them. Join forces and kill the Divine Court Army. Powerhouses from the 6 Grandmasters' side all spoke up. Powerhouses from Weiyu Mountain and Xuanda Grotto also spoke up. The Divine Court Army they encountered in the later stages were already crippled, but they knew how scary they were. They had also suffered heavy losses in the Battle of the Imperial Battlefield. The 2 kings did not bring many Divine Court Army, but they were all elites, and they had also killed many of their powerhouses. On Mount Wangwu's side, Ling Xiao had left. At this moment, no one said anything. Wu Chuan, Wu Quishan, Li Changsheng, and Kong Lingyuan were the 4 strongest powerhouses here. They were also the leaders after Fong Ping left. They looked at each other. There were many powerhouses from other sections. They took up half of the 200 rank 9s. At this moment, these people were going. On the human side, the powerhouses from the Holy Lands were also ready to make a move. Seeing this, Wu Quishan took a deep breath and said, All right, we'll go first. However, no one is allowed to attack without orders. Having said that, Wu Quishan said sternly, Everyone, no matter where you're from, this time, Sino Nation is leading. If anyone attacks without orders, Don't blame us for being merciless. Having said that, Wu Quishan transmitted his voice to the Sino Nation powerhouses, saying quickly, keep an eye on them. Don't let them attack without orders. Some people have ulterior motives. Once they attack, it'll be easy for us to become the target and scapegoats. Since the Divine Court Army is so strong, we can't be the main force against them. No one replied, but at this moment, the Sino people also perked up. They had fewer people. This time, they were more suitable to be bystanders rather than the main force. Soon, a group of people rushed over there. At the same time, the Rank 6 and Rank 7 regions began to gather here. A large number of powerhouses rushed toward the Rank 9 region. Rank 9 region. On the battlefield, Qi Huanyu was already heavily injured. Golden blood dripped all over the ground. At this moment, a powerhouse flew over from afar, shouting, Temple Master, hold on. The Destiny Royal Court powerhouses had arrived. Fang Ping even saw Jinan. She was also one of the Destiny Army's commanders. Kill! This time, there were more than 30 powerhouses who arrived ahead of time. As soon as these people arrived, Qi Huanyu perked up immediately. He laughed loudly and said, Thank you, Fang Ping. Although you're up to no good, I still have to thank you for saving my life. Fang Ping's people went to inform them. They were saving him. Qi Huanyu also saw that the person who flew at the front was none other than the young lady who had gathered with Fang Ping. She was the powerhouse from Mount Wangwu. If that was the case, of course, it was Fang Ping's people who led them here. With a loud laugh, Qi Huanyu pulled himself together and shouted, Get into formation. Attack the south and destroy their joint formation. Yes, sir. The Destiny Army was made up of the elites of the army. The Destiny Royal Court had fought everywhere and had killed many times. They were not the private army of the true king, nor were they those lone travelers. At this moment, as Qi Huanyu's order was passed down, more than 30 powerhouses moved as one. Jinan shouted, Gather! With a shout, more than 30 powerhouses did not attack. Instead, they unleashed their mentality at the same time. At this moment, these people did not split up to attack. In the void, a mentality spear condensed, combining the power of more than 30 people. Destroy! The spear condensed instantly and shot toward the blood-armored warriors in the south at lightning speed. The Destiny Army was prepared. At this moment, a golden-armored powerhouse shouted. Without saying anything, more than 20 blood-armored warriors threw their spears out and merged with the golden-armored powerhouse's spear. A gigantic spear that exuded an incomparably powerful aura appeared. A true god weapon. At this moment, someone exclaimed in the dark. The Destiny Army was able to merge standard divine weapons into a desperate divine weapon. Apart from some ancient powerhouses who had experienced it, many people did not know. Fang Ping, who was hiding in the dark, was also stunned. Both sides had a joint attack technique. Why did the Destiny Royal Court have one too? Although it did not feel very skillful, and those people's mentality was not condensed very well, it was a miracle that the fusion of more than 30 people's mentality did not repel or explode. In the void, a spear and a mentality spear collided almost instantly. Rumble! This deafening roar reverberated throughout the entire King battleground. In the sky, the Chaos Origin began to riot. It seemed to have reached its limit. The destructive power of both sides had reached true god level. Break! At this moment, Qi Huanyu roared and sent the golden-armored young man flying with his spear. His right foot kicked toward the southern barrier. Crack! A faint shattering sound was heard. Seeing this, the golden-armored young man shouted, Trap them again! The other three sides quickly sent more blood-armored warriors to fill the gap in the south. Send out another team and kill them. Another 10 blood-armored warriors quickly walked out from the team and met with more than 20 powerhouses in the south. The golden-armored leader with the supreme divine weapon had an extremely powerful aura. He shouted, Fuse again! Buzz, buzz, buzz! 10 spears were tossed out. The giant spear in his hand fused with the 10 spears, and its aura became even more powerful. Kill! The golden-armored powerhouse stabbed with his spear. The transparent mentality spear seemed to be on the verge of collapsing. Crack! A shattering sound was heard. At this moment, Jinan and the others vomited blood, their faces pale. Chi Huanyu was anxious too. He roared, "Where are the others? They're still behind. The corpse puppets are blocking them." Jinan shouted. Then, his face pale, he said again. More than 30 experts once again formed a long spear. Jinan let out a roar. Riding on an incomparably huge demonic beast, she grabbed the long spear, broke through the air, and directly fought with the golden-armored expert in the air. It was Fang Ping's first time seeing such a battle style. The powerhouses from both sides could actually work together. At this moment, Jinan and the golden-armored powerhouse gave Fang Ping a feeling that they were much stronger than Chi Huanyu. 500,000 calories? Or 600,000 calories? Fang Ping felt that they were not really at the peak, but at this moment they had exceeded the limit. Fang Ping's heart skipped a beat as he watched. Could a rank 9 be this powerful? Humans did not have this kind of joint attack. Did Grandmaster have it? Did they have it in the bounded boundaries? Number 1 on the Wind Cloud leaderboard? Damn it, I've underestimated these people. No one reminded me. No one told me. Fang Ping cursed in his heart. If that was the case, these people had exceeded his expectations. At this moment, Fang Ping frowned. Someone else was coming. This time, it was none other than Gu Qing. Gu Qing seemed to have been hiding in the dark for a long time. At this moment, he suddenly charged out with a few powerhouses and bellowed, "Save Chi Huanyu. Don't let the Divine Court military kill him." Jinan and the others were blocked. Chi Huanyu could not hold on any longer. His previous attack did not break the southern barrier. He was already at the end of his rope. In a moment, he would die for sure. The golden-armored young man noticed Gu Qing as soon as he came out. When he saw Gu Qing, he suddenly shouted, "It's you." "It's me," Gu Qing said lightly. "Back then, I thought you were dead. I didn't expect you to be alive and even participate in the battle of the gods' graveyard." "Tai Qin, kill him." As soon as he said that, one of the golden-armored powerhouses that surrounded Chi Huanyu flew out and shouted, "Follow me and kill." As soon as he said that, close to 20 blood-armored warriors flew into the air and landed behind the golden-armored powerhouse. Just like before, a spear was condensed in an instant. The golden-armored powerhouse, known as Tai Qin, held the spear in his hand and charged toward Gu Qing's side. At the same time, a few Emperor's corpse puppets also charged toward them. The spear pierced the sky. There was an explosion. One move. Gu Qing, who was ranked 7th on the leaderboard, vomited blood and was sent flying. "Senior Gu!" Everyone on Ping Yutian's side exclaimed and started fighting the Emperor's corpse puppets. Suppression. In the blink of an eye, 7 or 8 people on Gu Qing's side were suppressed. Gu Qing's face turned slightly pale and he snorted coldly. At this moment, Fang Ping felt that he had learned something new. At this moment, a powerhouse that looked exactly like him appeared next to Gu Qing. He was also a level 10 origin. The same aura, the same strength, and the same attire. "You want to kill me, Gu Qing, with just these few people?" Gu Qing snorted. Like a phantom, one figure charged toward the golden-armored man, while the other charged toward the blood-armored warrior behind him. His figure seemed to be illusory. Fang Ping watched as the golden-armored powerhouse stabbed the other party with his spear, but Gu Qing collapsed instantly. In the blink of an eye, he actually condensed again and appeared in front of the golden-armored man. Without any warning, this figure tunneled into the other party's body. On the other side, the golden-armored youth shouted, "Tai Qin, be careful of his spiritual consciousness attack." Tai Qin was about to reply when a scream came from behind him. Another of Gu Qing's figures tunneled into the body of a blood-armored warrior. In the blink of an eye, the other party's head exploded and his mentality condensed. As soon as it condensed, Gu Qing appeared again and smashed the other party's mentality with a palm strike. "Ah!" A short and urgent scream was heard. For the first time, someone from the blood-armored warrior died. Just as one person died on this side, Jinan was sent flying. blood spurting nonstop from his mouth. He was no match for the other party. As he spat blood, so did the people behind him. Their mentality was crushed again. The golden-armored man with the spear pierced through the void. Behind Jinan, a rank 9 powerhouse, did not even have time to scream before his golden body exploded. Bang! Not even his bones were left. Someone started to die. Damn it! The death of one of the blood-armored warriors seemed to have angered the golden-armored man. At this time, the golden-armored youth growled. A corpse puppet blocked Qi Huanyu's spear, and his spear pierced through Qi Huanyu's head. Qi Huanyu's face was pierced by the spear. It was extremely horrifying. However, at this time, Qi Huanyu laughed loudly and said, "You want to kill me? It won't be that easy. I'd like to see what you can do to me without the seal." As soon as he finished speaking, he ignored the spear and turned around. With a bang, the membrane began to crack. Both sides held up close to 50 people. The barrier that the others used to seal him was no longer strong enough. Seeing this, the golden-armored youth snorted. "I wanted to leave your corpse intact and make it into a corpse puppet. I didn't expect you to have a death wish. Release the seal, merge, and kill the enemy." As soon as he said that, the barrier that sealed Qi Huanyu suddenly shattered. The next moment, the remaining blood-armored warriors roared, and powerful energy entered the spear. The spear was quickly merged with the young man's spear. At this moment, the young man's aura was so powerful that it was terrifying. He seemed to have recovered to the true god realm. He originally had the strength of a true god realm. Now that he had recovered, the clouds in the sky began to explode. Rumble! The chaos origin had recovered. 3 moves. The young man only said one sentence. He could only use 3 moves. After that, if he did not release the state of merging immediately, the chaos origin would immediately kill him. He was confident that he could kill Qi Huanyu within 3 moves. Buzz! The spear tore through the space and Qi Huanyu. Qi Huanyu spat out mouthfuls of blood. At this moment, the lower half of Qi Huanyu's body was torn apart, and then it was destroyed. The upper half of his body recovered rapidly. Then a spear condensed. With a roar, the spear radiance shook the sky. Strong enough. The young man was a little surprised that he could not kill Qi Huanyu with 1 move. Qi Huanyu was indeed strong. At this moment, he was a true god, even if he was the weakest. Back then, Chen Yaozu and Zhang Weiyu were almost killed by a severely injured true king who had been severely injured by a battle king before. "You want to kill me with 3 moves? Huh?" Qi Huanyu roared and did not take the attack head-on. Instead, he tore through space and hid inside. However, the moment he hid inside, he flew out at an even faster speed. The young man stabbed with his spear again, and the space collapsed. At this moment, only Qi Huanyu's head was left flying. Rumble! A terrifying might began to descend from the sky. The young man's expression changed slightly, and he harumphed softly. He stabbed with his spear for the last time, and his aura faded rapidly. In the blink of an eye, he returned to his previous level. At this moment, the spear that flew out locked onto Qi Huanyu. The spear was about to smash Qi Huanyu's head and kill him completely. Suddenly, Qi Huanyu's eyes revealed a look of helplessness, and he spat out a mouthful of golden blood. Boom! The golden blood turned into a figure instantly. Fate Monarch. The moment the Fate Monarch appeared, he threw a punch, and it exploded immediately. The spear paused for a moment, and the killing intent it carried slid down abruptly. Heart's blood? The young man was slightly surprised. He looked at Qi Huanyu and said in a low voice, "An emperor-level powerhouse gave you his heart's blood." Qi Huanyu ignored him and fled again. A moment later, Qi Huanyu recovered his physical body 1,000 meters away. His face was pale, and he said with a dark expression, "You're good. Do you know how much I sacrificed to get this drop of heart's blood?" This was not an avatar. It was the Fate Monarch's heart's blood. The powerhouses in the catacombs could transform their entire body into energy. The first one was the heart. There was no blood in the heart. The so-called heart's blood was actually a type of energy source that they had condensed at a great cost. No one would be unwilling to exchange a drop of blood for a mineral vein. This thing was used to save one's life. The Fate Monarch did not dare to cut off his avatar recklessly due to the uniqueness of the battlefield. Therefore, he had condensed this item and used countless treasures before handing it over to Qi Huanyu. In the end, he was forced out as soon as he entered. Both parties had fought to this point and revealed all their trump cards. This was an eye-opener for the powerhouses in the dark. Fong Ping could not help but exclaim in shock. Too powerful. The young man actually had the strength of a true god in the end. Although the duration was terrifyingly short. Was it even a second? A true god was a true god, though. A powerhouse like Qi Huanyu would have been killed immediately if he did not have a last resort to save his life. He would have perished in a second. If I were Qi Huanyu, what would I do? Fong Ping asked himself. He was terrified. He might die. Even if he self-destructed the Golden House again, he might not be able to block it. Motherf asterisk Kerr. These people are too scary. What the hell? Didn't they say they were all rank 9? Didn't they say 3 minutes at most? Fong Ping was helpless. Had the battle been going on for 3 minutes? More or less. However, in these 3 minutes, both parties had been exchanging blows, killing until he was almost sweating. Just as Fong Ping was thinking about this, another scream was heard. On Jinan's side, another powerhouse was killed. Qi Huanyu was seriously injured. The young man waved his hand, and the other blood-colored warriors charged over. With so many people attacking, how could Jinan's group block them? In the blink of an eye, 5 or 6 people were killed. Retreat! Qi Huanyu yelled. Not far away, Gu Qing's figure was also torn apart by Tai Qin's spear. The other figure's face was pale. He shouted, "Gather the others and kill them together." Both parties did not need to say much. In the blink of an eye, they gathered together and ran toward the depths of the rank 9 region. On the other side, the catacombs' powerhouses' aura had already been revealed. There were many people there. If they gathered together, they could fight. At this moment, Qi Huanyu shouted while fleeing, "Fong Ping, if you don't join forces, we won't help you. If we join forces, they won't be a match for us. They will only surround and kill you. Don't blame me for watching the Divine Court army surround and kill you." Gu Qing also shouted angrily, "Luo Yu, do you still want to watch the show? Idiot! If we don't kill the Divine Court army, we will all die. Have you forgotten the battle of the Divine Court armies?" Someone was fleeing in the dark, but his voice was heard. "You guys surround them. We'll take action. Don't think that we will become the Divine Court army's main target." It was Luo Yu's voice. He was worried that they would be tricked by Qi Huanyu and the others now. If they became the main force against the Divine Court army, they would definitely suffer heavy losses. They might not even have a chance to go to the space battlefield. "Let's attack together," Qi Huanyu shouted. Behind him, the young man in golden armor did not seem to hear him. He did not say a word and moved extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he caught up with them with hundreds of Divine Court army soldiers, spears piercing through the air. Poof! The spears pierced through a few powerhouses who were slower. Once they fell behind, they would almost certainly die. Qi Huanyu did not stop either. They were no match for the other party. If they stayed and were entangled, they would return to the desperate situation they were in earlier. Soon, the Divine Court army stopped. Powerhouses' auras rose in front of them. All the catacombs' powerhouses had arrived. The young man in golden armor stopped and snorted coldly. Without another word, he turned around and left. The crimson-armored warriors behind him were also decisive. They moved with the scene and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Fong Ping, who was hiding in the dark, changed his expression. They went to the rank 8 region. These fellows were terrifyingly powerful. He could not let the humans encounter them. In the distance, Qi Huanyu gathered everyone and shouted, "Fong Ping, I know what's important. Let's kill them first. We'll decide the winner after we enter the space battlefield. Otherwise, none of us will be able to enter." Gu Qing also said, "Fong Ping, we can only work together now. Otherwise, we'll all be in danger if we're defeated one by one. You don't understand how powerful the Divine Court army is. Almost 10 rank 9s from the catacombs had been killed in that moment. Gu Qing had also lost a rank 9 on his side. This was when both Gu Qing and Qi Huanyu were present. From the beginning to the end, Gu Qing was the only one from the Divine Court army who was killed in the chaos. The others were unharmed. It was frightening. If Qi Huanyu had not distracted so many combat forces, Gu Qing and his men would have died if they were surrounded. If we don't work together, the catacombs, Outland, and the borderlands will definitely not attack us recklessly. They'll only attack us in the overseas immortal islands. Once Luo Yu joins them, humans will be in danger. Fang Ping's expression was solemn. These fellows were forcing him to work together. If he did not, he would have to face the Divine Court army alone. When that happened, even if he won, less than half of the people who came would survive. He was overestimating himself. Motherf asterisk Kerr. Are these fellows so sure that I'm here? Fang Ping cursed in his heart. These fellows have seen through my habit. That old thing, Qi Huanyu, was so sure that I was hiding here from the beginning. Chapter 950. Fang Ping was still thinking when his expression changed slightly. A familiar aura. The humans were rushing here. Didn't I tell them not to rush? It's dangerous to come here now. Fang Ping felt helpless. At that moment, Wu Chuan and the others also sensed the Divine Court army's aura. Rumble. Energy exploded. The Divine Court army suddenly appeared from the changing scene. The young man in golden armor attacked immediately. Kong Lingyuan roared and covered the sky with his folding fan. The others attacked too. Old Man Li slashed with his sword, breaking the void. The young man in golden armor ignored him. Tai Qin, who was behind him, attacked Old Man Li. One wielded a sword, the other wielded a spear. They collided in the blink of an eye. Crack! Old Man Li slashed with his sword, cutting the opponent's spear in half. In the blink of an eye, the spear returned to its original shape. Tai Qin took a few steps back, his face expressionless but solemn. Let's go. The young man in golden armor did not say anything else. His attack did not break Kong Lingyuan's folding fan. Without another word, the group of people appeared and disappeared as the scene changed. Kong Lingyuan and the others looked solemn. The short contact showed that the other party was very strong. If not for the catacombs people in the distance, they would have been in danger if they stayed. Where did they go? They must have gone to kill the powerhouses from the other forces. These guys appear and disappear mysteriously. Once we split up, we'll be taken down one by one. Everyone discussed, somewhat worried. At that moment, Qi Huanyu's voice came again. Everyone, the only way is to kill these people first. As long as the Divine Court army doesn't die, they control the battlefield and can come and go as they please. It's extremely dangerous. If we're not careful, we'll die. At that moment, Ling Xiao and the others had also returned. Wu Chuan glanced. He did not see Fang Ping. He frowned slightly, but did not say anything. What was Fang Ping hiding for? There were so many powerhouses. Was he planning to kill them secretly? What was Fang Ping doing now? When Wu Chuan and the others arrived, Fang Ping did not meet up with them. Instead, he slowly approached Qi Huanyu and the others. As he approached, he thought about something. After a while, Fang Ping's gaze flickered. He suddenly spoke to Old Man Li, who was thousands of meters away. Attack the catacombs, break through their mental barrier, and teleport some of them away, creating a momentary chaos. Old Man Li's eyebrows twitched. This kid was going to go crazy again, asking him to attack the catacombs? Right now, there were still 400 to 500 people in the catacombs. If a fight really broke out, they would be in big trouble. However, Old Man Li quickly made up his mind. At this moment, the two sides were only a few thousand meters apart. Old Man Li suddenly looked in the direction of the catacombs and shouted, "You're actually here. You killed MCMAU instructors and students. You deserve to die." Old Man Li burst through the air with this roar, traveling 1,000 meters in an instant. In the blink of an eye, he approached the catacomb side. Without a word, his sword Qi soared into the sky, and with a swing of his sword, he slashed open a huge spatial rift. Qi Huanyu had yet to recover from his severe injuries. Seeing this, he roared angrily, unable to contain his anger. The longevity sword dared to charge into the enemy's camp alone. He was still talking about cooperation, but this guy actually came alone. Kill him! With a furious roar, dozens of powerhouses from the catacombs side attacked one after another. A loud explosion rang out. Kacha! Both sides exchanged blows. The mentality barrier around them shattered, and the terrain shifted rapidly. The rank 9 powerhouses were still fine, but a few rank 8 martial artists seemed to be unable to stay still. They exclaimed and were teleported away in the blink of an eye. In the dark, Fong Ping had been watching. When he saw this scene, his eyes flickered. The armor on his body changed instantly, and his appearance changed rapidly too. Then, Fong Ping changed into a completely different person. Fong Ping suddenly appeared, as if he had not woken up from the teleportation process. As the scenery changed and teleported, he landed in the catacombs side in the blink of an eye. His eyes were still blank and palpitating. When the few people around him saw him, someone could not help but say, "What good luck! Baijan, be careful." Someone let out a low growl, reminding him Baijan's luck was not bad. After teleporting out, he was actually teleported back randomly. The few other rank 8s who had disappeared were most likely doomed. In front, Old Man Li charged into the enemy's formation alone. He was the opponent. In the blink of an eye, he was sent flying by these powerhouses' joint attack. On the other side, Wu Chuan and the rest rushed over quickly. Qi Huanyu said furiously, "Li Changsheng, you're asking for it." The atmosphere on both sides was extremely tense. Jiang Kuei and the rest looked at Old Man Li, slightly dissatisfied. The Divine Palace military had just left. If they were to clash with the catacombs now, once the Divine Palace military attacked, they would be in danger. Wu Chuan also said in a low voice, "Changsheng, don't be impatient." Old Man Li humphed. "I'll kill every single one of these bastards I see. I just saw a guy who killed MCMU people before." Qi Huanyu saw that the rest were still calm. He regained his composure and said coldly, "Li Changsheng, do you think that I dare not kill you?" Old Man Li sneered. "Come, let's see who can kill who." Having said that, he provoked, "You're injured. Looks like you don't have the guts to fight to the death with me." "Enough!" Jiang Kuei shouted coldly, interrupting, "I don't care about your grudges now. Now that the Divine Palace military has reappeared, the Divine Palace military is our primary target. On this point, Outland and the Blessed Grotto Heaven are the same." On the other side, Gu Qing also said quickly, "That's right. The Divine Palace military is our primary enemy. This time, we came here to seize the treasure. You can do whatever you want after we get the treasure. If you want to fight now, we won't interfere, but you have to think this through. If there are too many casualties, we might all die at the hands of the Divine Palace military." As soon as he said that, Xianhua and the rest looked at Wu Chuan and the rest, frowning slightly. It was not the right time to turn against the catacombs. Wu Chuan exhaled softly, glanced at Old Man Li, and said in a low voice, "Then we'll wait." "Where's Fong Ping?" Qi Huanyu asked suddenly, frowning. Where did Fong Ping go? Fong Ping was not here. As he said that, he looked around and snorted. Was that guy still hiding in the dark? However, this was also the guy's advantage. If he hid, it would be difficult for them to find him. Hiding in the dark. Weren't you very arrogant outside the Heavenly King battleground? Qi Huanyu, you don't care if I hide or not. I'll keep an eye on you in the dark and make you afraid. An illusory voice came from all directions. Qi Huanyu, be careful. The Destiny Royal Court is not my target. You and the Destiny King just had to jump around. When I get the chance, I'll definitely kill you. Fong Ping's mentality shielded him. Although the others heard the voice, they could not sense its source. At this moment, Gu Qing's expression changed slightly. He looked in a direction abruptly. The next moment, Qi Huanyu smacked his palm, and the void exploded. On the other side, an invisible psychic energy exploded. Fong Ping's voice disappeared too. This is interesting, Gu Qing murmured softly. He could vaguely sense that there was something there. His mentality was strong, so he could sense the abnormality in the space. In fact, it proved that there was indeed a remnant of Fong Ping's mentality there. However, even though Qi Huanyu had blown it up, they did not sense any aura shielding. It was very difficult to discover a powerhouse like this hiding in the dark. Gu Qing and the rest became more vigilant. This included Jiang Kuei and the rest. They might have asked around before, but when they saw this scene with their own eyes, their eyes darted around. No one knew what they were thinking. Perhaps it was a good thing that Fong Ping was hiding in the dark. It was a deterrent. Qi Huanyu sneered and said indifferently, "Up to you. However, will you kill the Heavenly Court soldiers first, or will you fight us first? Fong Ping, what's your choice?" Among the crowd, Fong Ping transformed into someone else's appearance and did not speak again. These guys were a little scary. If he spoke any further, he might be discovered. As for the guy who was teleported away, what would happen if he came back? Fong Ping did not plan to hide forever, so he did not care. The reason why he had snuck into the catacombs was to give everyone a surprise at a crucial moment. He felt like he had missed something, but after thinking for a long time, he still couldn't figure out what he had forgotten. He felt a little uneasy while the two sides were negotiating. The Divine Court army moved stealthily again and soon appeared on the overseas Immortal Island side. Just like before, they struck like lightning and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Luo Yu, who had rushed back, did not say much when he saw the situation. He quickly led his men to the 9th grade region. It was too dangerous to stay here any longer. Outside the King battlefield, on another stone tablet, a name flickered and caught Daoist Fengyun's attention. Daoist Fengyun took a look and frowned slightly. Flickering names? What does that mean? This was a rank 8 powerhouse, not considered strong among those who entered. Just now, the name had fluctuated, and even he did not understand why. Dead? He shouldn't be dead, but it seemed a little unstable. Unstable aura? Seriously injured? Daoist Fengyun could only think so. This had never happened before, but it might happen if someone was seriously injured and their aura was weak. Of course, it was slightly different from before. In the past, the names were dimmer, but not this time. A rank 8 martial artist. Daoist Fengyun pondered for a while and did not think further. Inside the King battlefield, the four forces began to converge on the 9th grade region. At this moment, Qi Huanyu seemed to have sensed something. He said in a low voice, "Everyone, the Divine Court army seems to be purposely driving us here. There haven't been many corpse puppets. Could it be?" At this time, Gu Qing had also arrived to meet the people from Grandmaster. The three forces did not gather together. Instead, they were thousands of meters away from each other. Gu Qing said loudly, "I've sensed it too. I know the commander of the Divine Court army. His name is Di Hao. He was a true god powerhouse in the past. In the war that year, he led a 1,000-man Divine Court army to fight against the powerhouses of Boundless Mountain. I thought he had died in that battle. I didn't expect him to still be alive. When he fought with Hall Master Qi earlier, I vaguely sensed that it wasn't to kill, but to show off his strength and force us to join forces. Gather." As soon as he said that, discussions broke out again. At this time, Ling Xiao said lazily, "Stop guessing. I've sensed something. There seem to be corpse puppets moving around in the periphery. I can smell that stench from afar. Di Hao probably wants to gather us together and kill us all at once." Fong Ping also reacted when he heard that. Yes, he also sensed something. Before Gu Qing and the others attacked, the combat strength that Di Hao displayed was not too strong. However, since the other party had a trump card, logically speaking, he should have killed Qi Huanyu earlier. Only when Qi Huanyu's reinforcements arrived, including Gu Qing and the others, did that fellow go all out. It was indeed abnormal. Fong Ping continued to maintain his silence after the fact. At this moment, the others around him were not in the mood to pay attention to him. Some of them were deeply worried. It had not been smooth since they arrived. Many people had already died. Now that the other party had purposely driven them here, did they really have the confidence to kill them? At this time, on Gu Qing's side, the silver-haired old lady said slowly, "When the four sides gather, there are thousands of origin realms. Although the Divine Court army is strong, there are only 100 of them. Even with the corpse puppets, they don't have the confidence to defeat us, do they? Having said that, she added, the Divine Court army can completely take them down one by one. Chi Huanyu said indifferently, take them down one by one? We're not dead. If one side is really destroyed, the others will either retreat or join forces. We won't give them such an opportunity so easily. If we really destroy two sides, the remaining people will probably leave. The Divine Court army is very determined. As expected, they're doing this because they want to kill us all at once and not leave a single one alive. How arrogant! Someone snorted coldly. How could it be that easy to kill thousands of origin realms at once? However, Chi Huanyu said calmly, since they've already done it, they must be confident. Everyone, there's no time to lose. Let's strike first and kill a batch of corpse puppets in case they really gather and surround us. No one objected to killing the corpse puppets. Chi Huanyu said, let's end the battle quickly and not split up too far. Kill a batch and wait for Luo Yu's side to arrive. Then, we'll meet up and fight the Divine Court army. All right. The other experts had no objections. As the strongest person below the true monarchs and the overall commander of the Destiny Royal Court's war, Chi Huanyu could handle such a situation. The others were not the type to drag things out. They quickly spread out and began killing the corpse puppets. They were weakening the Divine Court army's strength. The Divine Court army did not appear either. It seemed like they were killing the people who were left alone. This also confirmed Chi Huanyu's words. The other party was prepared to kill all of them in one fell swoop. They allowed them to gather in the 9th grade region. Not only did they not stop them, but they also seemed to be adding fuel to the fire. While everyone was killing the corpse puppets, in the 7th grade region, the golden-armored young man, Di Hao, produced a mirror in his hand again. He fell in a deep thought as he looked at the densely packed red dots that had gathered together. Apart from the 9th grade region, there were very few red dots in the other regions. There were only a few scattered red dots. The young man stood proudly in the air and said slowly, spread out and kill these people with the corpse puppets. Yes, sir. Someone responded and moved quickly. Di Hao thought for a moment and suddenly pressed his hand down. Ignore this person. He was looking at a single dazzling red dot when he spoke. Zhao Xingwu. General, this person is also a variable. Why don't you let me lead some people to kill him? There's no hurry. Di Hao's voice was calm as he pointed at the 9th grade region's red dot. Once these people are dead, there's no need to worry about one person. When that time comes, we can slowly surround and kill this person. Yes, sir. Di Hao did not say anything else. He looked at the 9th grade region. The king was going to come out of seclusion, and he would sacrifice 1,000 origins. When the Divine Court army appeared again, blood would flow like a river. Every time the Divine Court army went out to battle, blood would flow like a river and corpses would pile up like a mountain. There had never been an exception. Di Hao stood where he was, motionless. About 7 to 8 minutes later, some blood-colored soldiers returned, covered in blood. How could some lone experts be a match for them? As long as they encountered them, they would be quickly killed. When the last group of people returned, the young man looked at the compass mirror again. The scattered red dots were almost gone. That was because there was a red dot that was still jumping around at an incredible speed. It wasn't that he was fast, but rather that he wasn't resisting the pulling force of this place. He seemed to be wandering around, and it was very difficult to catch such an expert roaming around. Just as the young man was about to put away the mirror, he suddenly raised an eyebrow. A few more red dots appeared near the entrance of the 8th grade region. Someone else has entered? Di Hao looked at the dots and said in a low voice, Go, seal the other 3 entrances. Leave only the entrance to the core region. 4 regions for entrances. He only left the entrance to the 9th grade region. As for the other places, he was going to seal them. The Divine Court army had its own ways to seal them. General, those people... Di Hao glanced at the red dots and saw that they were also moving toward the core region. He said indifferently, Ignore them. They're just a few golden body realms. Let's not waste time. Go to the core region. Yes, sir. Everyone responded. A few golden-armored powerhouses quickly flew toward the other entrances. Di Hao, on the other hand, waved his spear and disappeared with nearly 100 powerhouses. At the entrance to the 8th grade region, Li Hansong grinned. These catacombs' true kings are very bold. They let us in just like that. I thought they would make things difficult for us. Wang Jinyang was silent. Idiot. Why would they stop a few rank 8s when they came in to die? Even if a rank 9 came in now, they would not stop them, much less a rank 8. The Inata True King was very bold. Did they not see how those people looked at them as if they were dead when they came in? The rank 8 and rank 9 powerhouses inside were dying one after another. The casualties were increasing. Who would care about them? However, soon, Wang Jinyang said in a low voice, when we came in just now, it seemed like someone was probing us. Minister Zhang's soft humph seemed to have shattered some people's mentality. Did someone recognize us? Li Hansong grinned. So what if they recognized us? What are you afraid of? Idiot. Yao Qingjun could not help but curse. He growled, we have divine weapons. Once we're recognized, we'll be in big trouble. Li Hansong was speechless. It can't be that bad, right? According to Fong Ping, we were very low-key back then. Not many people knew us. Back then, in the void mausoleum grotto heaven, it was not that they recognized us, but they sensed our northern sect's physical strength. Just like old Yao, if he went to Kuoking Mountain, Fong Ping said he should be able to enter too. When we went to Xuanda Grotto Heaven last time, the Mystic Virtue Realm old man might not have recognized us. He probably sensed that our physique and mentality were biased. Yao Qingjun said helplessly, we're low-key, but you're not. You're wearing a broken armor, showing off all the time. There are many powerhouses who know that you have a divine armor. Don't tell me no one will think of the Emperor armor? Li Hansong was embarrassed. Is it my fault now? I have no choice but to use the Emperor armor. The enemy is too strong. What if I don't use it? How many times have I saved you? Now you're complaining. Li Hansong swore, next time you're killed, don't ask me to use the Emperor armor to protect you. Wang Jinyang ignored him. After walking for a while, he frowned. It's too quiet. There seems to be no one in the rank 8 region. They should have gone to the rank 9 region, right? Li Hansong looked around and said uncomfortably, I'm dazzled. How did this godforsaken place become like this now? Are Fong Ping and the rest all right? You should worry about us. As Wang Jinyang spoke, a thunderous sound rang behind them. It was not too far away from them. At the same time, everyone seemed to hear an angry bellow vaguely. How dare you? The voice flashed and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Life King? Li Hansong said in surprise. It's the Life King, right? It came from the outside. This old man is very powerful. At this time, Yao Qingjun suddenly grabbed him and quickly left through the air. They had just left when a golden-armored powerhouse rushed over. This person had just closed the rank 8 region's gateway and sensed a little aura here. He guessed that it was probably the few people Di Hao saw earlier. Initially, he wanted to kill the other party. He did not expect the other party to be so perceptive and run away first. He did not have the compass mirror with him. It was difficult to find them in this chaotic scene. You guys are lucky, the golden-armored man murmured. I'll let you live a little longer then. After saying that, the golden-armored powerhouse disappeared again. He left for a while. In the distance, Li Hansong cursed. Why did he run? He's just one person. He's lucky. If it wasn't for old Yao holding me back, I would have killed him directly. I think his armor is not bad. It's a little similar to my Emperor armor. I can even disguise it if I take it. Next time, I'll show it in front of powerhouses. These guys won't suspect that I have Emperor armor anymore. Li Hansong was very arrogant, even though he sensed the other party's aura, which was probably above origin level 7 or 8. He did not pay much attention. Wang Jinyang glanced at him. He could not help but growl. Of all the things you can learn, you have to learn Fong Ping's arrogance. The three of us might be able to take him down if we work together, but we'll definitely be heavily injured and unable to fight again. Did you come here just to kill a rank 9? This was also very arrogant, Li Hansong said gloomily. Then why did we come here? Isn't it to kill people? Killing one is one. What else can we do? Wang Jinyang was mentally exhausted. After a while, he humphed softly. Idiot. I'm telling you, don't scold people. It's not a good habit to scold people. You've been led astray by Fong Ping. Li Hansong said unhappily. Am I wrong? Wang Jinyang wanted to kick him to death. After thinking about it, this guy's skin was rough and thick. He might not be able to kill him. His feet might even hurt. Forget it. We didn't come here to kill a rank 9. Wang Jinyang said in a low voice. The reason why we rushed here is not to show our strength, but to make Fong Ping stronger, to prevent accidents from happening, and he can't handle it. Li Hansong scratched his head. I say, is that thing useful? We spent half a day making this. I don't think it's very useful. Its aura isn't strong either. Can it really improve our strength? It can, Wang Jinyang said with certainty. You only know how to say it can. Tell me, where's the evidence? Wang Jinyang shut up. He could not be bothered. Say it. If you don't finish, I'll be very anxious. I've been anxious for a few days. I don't have the energy to work these few days. Wang Jinyang continued to be silent. Yao Qingjun could not take it anymore. He sighed. Read more books. You're going down the path of a reckless man now. Didn't all the grandmasters send a batch of ancient books? That thing is called the Heavenly God Fruit. It's specially used to improve mentality. Forget it. What Heavenly God Fruit? Li Hansong pursed his lips. Which fruit grows on a corpse's head? It's probably the overflowing mentality of a powerhouse's brain core. Fong Ping doesn't know either. If he knew, he wouldn't be able to eat it. Why are you asking if you know? Wang Jinyang could not take it anymore. He kicked his foot out. The kick hurt his toes. He scolded in a low voice. Don't tell me you found it on a corpse. It's the Heavenly God Fruit. Do you understand? Li Hansong did not care about the place where he was kicked. He grinned. Understood. Don't worry. It doesn't matter if it grows on a corpse. It's fine as long as it's useful. I'm more curious. How did you know there are ruins there? Wang Jinyang continued to be silent. This again. Old Wang, you've changed recently. You used to say everything. Now, you're all secretive. Why are you doing this? Wang Jinyang said in a low voice. Stop asking. It's useless even if you ask. Although he said that, he hesitated for a while before saying in a low voice, don't absorb things from your past life. It's very troublesome. It might make your past life return to you. Wang Jinyang took a deep breath and said slowly, if you want to live as yourself, then try not to do this kind of thing. Of course, when it's really desperate, don't care. Do whatever you want. As soon as he said that, both of them seemed to understand something. Li Hansong's expression changed slightly. He said in a muffled voice, is it because of the heart? A little. Has your memory recovered? No, just a little. Wang Jinyang said in a low voice as he hurried along. Very little. But this is a bad sign. I'm not telling you because I don't want you to worry. Don't always ask these useless questions. It's very annoying. If I'm in danger, I will naturally tell you. Not telling you means that I can still control it. Li Hansong frowned and said after a while, are we still going to the Heavenly Realm ruins? Moreover, we don't have the ability to do so now. I don't think it's a big deal to have one more memory. Li Hansong muttered. I think that even if I have one more memory, I'm still Li Hansong. Aren't you worrying too much? Idiot! Wang Jinyang's temper was a little bad as he scolded. Who knows how many years of memories you have? How long have you lived? Once there's an impact, your current memory might just be a drop in the ocean. Not worth mentioning. When that time comes, will you really be an iron head? That's true. Your temper is a lot worse now. Logically speaking, Zhang Tiany's personality is still all right. Is there a problem with you being so bad? How do you know that Zhang Tiany's personality is good? Wang Jinyang said impatiently. Maybe he's faking it? That's true. Li Hansong nodded again and smiled. It's fine. I think my personality is definitely good, be it my previous life or this life. Even if I recover my memory, I'm still me. When the time comes, I'll be stronger and help you guys get rid of those opponents. Wang Jinyang could not be bothered with him. This guy had been blindly confident recently. He could not figure out where this guy's confidence came from. He had not recovered his memory yet, and just because he might be the reincarnation of the extreme Tao Heavenly Emperor, he became arrogant? P.S. Today's 5,010 words, breaking 5 million. Big shots, vote for it. Chapter 951. By Jean. What are you doing? A loud shout drew Fong Ping's attention away from his surroundings. Hearing the scolding, Fong Ping lowered his head, as if he was afraid, not daring to make a sound. Useless! The old man beside him scolded him. He would not have brought this useless fellow in if he had known. He was a venerable powerhouse after all, yet he was so scared that he had not woken up yet. Although he was almost teleported away, did he not return? Fong Ping continued to lower his head in silence, cursing in his heart. I don't even know you. What do you want me to say? Moreover, he did not even know what Bai Zhan's voice sounded like. Of course, he dared not speak carelessly. Soon, however, Fong Ping had an idea. It seemed like he had to find a chance to kill this old man. He was a little familiar with this old man. Moreover, this old man was a rank 9, the core of the team. He might even be able to fight alongside Qi Huanyu. When that time came, he would stay by Qi Huanyu's side. Perhaps he could take the opportunity to kill him. Although everyone's opponent was the Divine Court Army now, humans and the catacombs would go to war sooner or later. It was just a matter of time. Fong Ping thought to himself. He did not show it on his face, continuing to act cowardly. Although it caused some people's anger, rank 8 martial artists were indeed not conspicuous at this time. It did not matter if they did not make a move. The strangulation continued. There were indeed many corpse puppets around. In just a short while, powerhouses from all sides had killed dozens of corpse puppets. Almost 1,000 rank 9 martial artists attacked. The results were also very obvious. At this time, a soft shout came from the central area. Gather quickly. Qi Huanyu began to gather powerhouses from all sides. Fong Ping also faintly felt a group of people's auras moving toward him. Luo Yu and the overseas Immortal Island fellows were about to arrive. Let's go back. On Fong Ping's side, a team quickly killed a rank 9 corpse puppet and rushed toward the central area. After a while, everyone arrived at the place. At this moment, in the center, a few top-notch powerhouses were suspended in the air. Qi Huanyu, Wu Quishan, Gu Qing, Luo Yu, Ling Xiao, these were human powerhouses. There were also a few demons, including those from Thousand Demon Royal Court Guardians, and Forbidden Oceanic Demons. This time, there were demons from Imperial Sea Mountain, but Fong Ping did not see Devil Swordsman. He did not know if it was because he killed the others last time. Fong Ping did not care about this. He did not kill the Demon Swordsman last time, but he had no intention of protecting it either. The Demon Swordsman had ruined many people's plans, so it was not surprising that he was killed. However, after some thought, Devil Swordsman seemed to still be on the 3 realms ranking list. He should not be dead. Thinking of this, Fong Ping stared at the powerhouses in the sky. It was the same for the others. At this moment, only these people had the right to speak. In the center of the square, Qi Huanyu looked around and said coldly, "The Divine Court Army has lured us here. I'm afraid they'll make a move soon. What I'm curious about now is, how confident are they that they can take us down? 1,100 rank 9 powerhouses and close to 400 rank 8 powerhouses. More than 1,500. Even if some of them died here and there were still more than 1,000 rank 9 martial artists." When he said that, Yu Wuhua of Immortal Seeking Island said softly, "I'm afraid there's more than one Divine Court Army. If there are 500 Divine Court Army soldiers and hundreds of corpse puppets, we will be in great danger." Qi Huanyu shook his head and said, "I don't think so. We've explored this place for more than 100 years. We've even entered the deepest part of the Imperial Palace before. Of course, we didn't go deep. Even so, I'm guessing this Divine Court Army is the limit. If there are really 500 Divine Court Army soldiers, the Second Kings would have sent them to kill us a long time ago." Wu Quishan said slowly, "I have a question." As he said that, he looked at the crowd and said lightly, "The Second Kings. Have you not planted any spies all these years? I'm worried that the second king's men are among the catacombs this time. If they work together, we'll be at a great disadvantage." When he said that, everyone looked at Qi Huanyu. This was not an impossible matter. Qi Huanyu frowned and said after a while, "Although I know you're targeting the divine land, I have to say that it's possible. However, before we confirm it, it's not advisable to do any interrogations. Otherwise, everyone will panic. If the hearts of thousands of powerhouses are in chaos, it will be even more troublesome. We can only take precautions. Moreover, I don't believe that the second kings would dare to plant spies in the four majestic courts. It's possible that there are more than 10 people coming this time, or at least none. More than 10 people was already overestimating the second kings." Qi Huanyu explained, "The land of kings isn't a place that anyone can enter. They're all descendants of the true kings and direct descendants of the true kings. Moreover, people from the land of rebirth have also entered," Wu Quishan said lightly. "Our people can't even come into contact with the core area. The catacombs have been guarding the rank 9 territory all this time. Our people are only active in the periphery of the rank 9 territory. I'm sure Hall Master Qi is well aware of this." Gu Qing chuckled when he saw the two of them arguing. "Calm down, both of you. It's possible that the second kings have planted spies in both sides. We need to pay attention to this. However, we just need to be more vigilant. There are thousands of them. Even if dozens of them riot, they won't be able to interfere. The most important thing now is to deal with the Divine Court Army. We haven't even entered the space battlefield yet, but we've already lost close to 100 people. If this goes on, we might suffer heavy casualties before we even enter. Will we be able to deal with the crisis in the space battlefield then?" Everyone was deep in thought. Although most of the casualties were the catacombs powerhouses, they had to deal with the God Court Army, since all sides wanted to kill them. Gu Qin continued, "Since all of you are here, I'm afraid you want to join forces. On the God Court Army's side, Di Hao is the strongest. There are also 5 golden armored commanders, 10 emperor-level corpse puppets. These 16 powerhouses all have top-notch origin ability. These are the people we need to deal with first. Why don't we distribute these people while the others join forces to kill the other corpse puppets and God Court Army powerhouses?" Wu Quishan glanced at everyone and said slowly, "Our side will stop 2 emperor-level corpse puppets and 1 golden armored powerhouse." Everyone frowned slightly. Gu Qing smiled and said, "Minister Wu, the human world has joined forces with Mount Wangwu, Mount Weiyu, and Mount Taibai. I can say that most of the sect's forces are gathered here." Seeing that Wu Quishan was about to speak, Gu Qing smiled warmly again and said, "I won't make things difficult for you, Minister Wu. 3 emperor corpses and 1 golden armored powerhouse. How about that?" Wu Quishan pondered for a moment and nodded slowly. "We will also take on 3 emperor corpses and 1 golden armored powerhouse. Luo Yu, the overseas immortal islands have many powerhouses. You'll deal with the remaining 4 emperor corpses and 1 golden armored powerhouse." Gu Qing looked at Qi Huanyu and said with a chuckle, "The 4 majestic courts are the strongest. Hall Master Qi, you fought Di Hao before, so I'll leave Di Hao and the remaining 2 golden armored commanders to you. Although the catacombs had the fewest powerhouses to deal with, only 3, they were the strongest. The golden armored commanders were more difficult to deal with than the emperor corpses. Although the emperor corpses and puppets were not weak, they lacked the means to adapt and were not as dangerous as the golden armored commanders." Qi Huanyu nodded slightly and said nothing. With that, the powerhouses were distributed. Gu Qing continued, "We can't let the God Court Army meet up with the golden armored powerhouses. Once they do, they'll be able to unleash true God-level combat strength. If we split them up, the God Court Army's combat strength will be greatly reduced. That's why we have to deal with these powerhouses alone." Luo Yu said calmly, "Di Hao isn't stupid. He's lived since the earthly sovereign era. How could he not know that they'll die if we split them up?" Gu Qing smiled and said, "That will depend on everyone's strength." Everyone was silent. Gu Qing smiled again. "Don't worry, everyone. I know the God Court Army's combat habits. Their first choice is to charge and break through enemy lines as generals. They'll only use joint attacks if they're really no match for them. Although joint attacks are powerful, they're not without drawbacks. I think Hall Master Chi is also promoting this method in the Heaven's Mandate Army. You should know the drawbacks. Wu Quishan's eyes flickered when he heard that. Ling Xiao did not wait for them to speak. She said with a smile, "It's not a secret. Joint attacks need to be of the same origin to fuse their powers. They forcefully change their auras, but they're not of the same origin. Over time, their origin Daos will become chaotic and collide. Therefore, although they'll grow stronger after fusing, they'll soon collapse if they don't get rid of it for a long time." Back then, a group of true gods noticed this and stopped fighting the God Court army. They had to maintain their true god combat strength to drag them down. In the end, more than 10,000 God Court army soldiers were dragged down. Ling Xiao giggled. That's why the powerful God Court army finally collapsed. Otherwise, with 1,000,000 God Court army soldiers and those true gods and emperors, the realm beyond heavens and the overseas immortal islands might not be able to break them. Wu Quishan understood. Qi Huanyu did not say anything more. Everyone knew about this, and it was hard to hide it. Qi Huanyu looked into the distance and said in a deep voice, "They're coming. If Zhao Xingwu was here, we'd have a better chance this time." However, this person disappeared without a trace as soon as he entered. "I don't know what he's up to." He looked at Wu Quishan. Wu Quishan was silent, as if he did not see it. He did not know what Zhao Xingwu was doing. There were also Heaven Plant's royal court powerhouses here. The Heaven Plant's royal court was not without powerhouses. There were 9 halls, and apart from the True King Hall, there were 8 halls. Li Zhu was the hall master, and the other 7 hall masters were on the excellence list. These people were powerhouses too. However, the Heaven Plant's royal court currently lacked top-notch rank 9 powerhouses. There was no one in the top 10 of the excellence list. Although Zhao Xingwu was the left commander of the Heaven Plant's army, he did things alone, and no one could order him around. The few hall masters of the Heaven Plant's royal court were here too, but they did not speak at this time. Rustling sounds were heard slowly. At this time, everyone's expression was solemn. Qi Huanyu and the rest shouted, "Prepare for battle." The powerhouses in all directions were on high alert. "Watch your step. Seal the void. Watch out for the enemy's bloody spear. Don't leave the battle circle, in case you get teleported away." The powerhouses gave their orders one after another. One by one, orders were passed down. The rustling sounds continued. It sounded like the sound of earth breaking. At this moment, someone exclaimed, "Look!" Without him saying it, everyone had already seen it. In the distance, corpses seemed to have just crawled out of the soil. Some of their golden bodies were already rotting, some were like living people, and some monsters were only left with their skeletons. "Is it the undead nation?" In the crowd, Fong Ping suddenly heaved a sigh of relief. Thank goodness. When he saw these corpses, he felt relieved instead. Before this, he was still wondering where these corpses had gone. Now it seemed like they had been hidden all along. There were a lot of corpses. There were probably thousands of them, but most of them were very broken. Obviously, the 2 kings did not have the energy to modify these rank 8 and 9 powerhouses' corpses. They mainly modified those true gods and emperor-level powerhouses' corpses. Is this the 2 kings trump card? Fong Ping also saw some true god-level corpse puppets. There were quite a lot of them, at least 100 or so. However, those rank 8 and 9 who had died did not have rank 8 or 9 combat strength now. After all, the dead were not alive. What Fong Ping was more curious about was how these corpses could distinguish between friend and foe. Auras? They remember the Divine Court Army's aura? Is there someone controlling them? If there is, I can change my aura to that of the person controlling them. Can I control them? In my opinion, that Di Hao might be the person controlling them. Is his mentality higher than mine now? If it was not, Fong Ping could change his aura to Di Hao's. If he really controlled them through aura and made these corpses obey his orders, then Fong Ping was secretly delighted. I'll observe carefully later. This is a trump card. If it really works, even if these corpses can't be used by me, they won't become the other party's helper. Maybe I can still do something big at the crucial moment. Kacha Kacha, The sound of glass shattering was heard again. It was a little ear-piercing. In the distance, someone said mildly, "Is everyone here?" Although they were very far away, the voice sounded like it was right next to their ears. D-House figure appeared slowly. Not just one place. In all directions. A mere 100 or so people. But now they were scattered in all directions. "You got guts. Knowing that I'm going to surround and kill you, you still dare to gather here. How confident." D-House figure had already appeared, walking in the air, saying slowly, "The Divine Court Army has not appeared for a long time. I'm afraid you've already forgotten the Divine Court Army's power." That's good too. Although there are no true gods after killing you, thousands of origin blood is enough to clear the Divine Court Army's name. Kill. A roar came from both sides at the same time. When both sides met, although D-House said a few words, in reality, it ended very quickly. In the blink of an eye, the battle broke out. A large number of corpse dummies charged at them. However, D-Howe, the golden-armored soldiers, and the blood-armored soldiers did not attack. In the distance, D-Howe looked around, looked at the compass mirror in his hand again, and roared, "Seal the skies! Seal!" Hundreds of blood-armored soldiers roared one after another. Hundreds of blood-colored spears rose into the air. The buzzing sound was incessant. Then a shocking scene happened. Hundreds of spears kept growing and extending, forming something like a bamboo cage in the air in the blink of an eye. The spears bent. The spearheads converged, the roots piercing the ground and spreading. At the front of the crowd, Gu Qing, who was already fighting a corpse dummy, saw this and shouted coldly, "How dare you? Using the seal the heavens formation, you won't stop until you kill everyone. You won't leave the formation until you kill everyone?" The seal the heavens formation. This was the Divine Court Army's specialty. The blood-colored spears combined and sealed off the area. Just like how it trapped Qi Huanyu earlier, this formation could not be broken unless the blood-armored soldiers were killed, and the rank 9 martial artists could not leave this place. Either the Divine Court Army was wiped out, or the thousands of rank 9s were killed. Otherwise, these powerhouses would have to gather in this small area to fight. The seal the heavens formation? Fong Ping looked up at the sky, frowning slightly. This thing was a little similar to his golden house. These ancient martial artists had many tricks up their sleeves. Although Fong Ping and the rest were full of confidence and had always looked down on ancient martial artists' combat strength as inferior to theirs, it was just a joke. These people had many tricks up their sleeves. Catacombs martial artists and human martial artists rarely had this kind of trapping technique. Otherwise, there would not be a situation where a rank 9 could kill a rank 7, and it was difficult to kill them even if they missed in one hit. If the opponent could not win, they could run. If they could not catch up, even if they were much stronger than them, they could not kill them. When Fong Ping's golden house appeared, many people were envious because his golden house had a way to trap enemies. "Bai Zhan, what are you standing there for? Kill!" Beside Fong Ping, the old man was about to explode. The war had begun. What was his idiotic junior doing? Staring at the sky? What an idiot! Did he not see those corpse puppets coming for him? Even if these corpse puppets were already dead, now that they had been refined, they were not weak. The key was that there were so many of them. A rank 8 was standing there in a daze, waiting for death. Fong Ping hurriedly started running under the old man's furious gaze. Fong Ping did not even turn his head, running in the opposite direction of the old man. "Idiot! Idiot! You have a death wish." The old man cursed in his heart. Bai Zhan was his junior, a fellow disciple. They were all powerhouses under the true king. He had to take care of him, even if this guy was really an idiot. But now, this guy was running around on his own. If he was killed, he could not blame him for not taking care of him. If he died here, after leaving this place, he would have something to answer to when his master asked. It was not that he did not protect him. It was that idiot who ran around on his own during the war. "Kill! Kago!" In an instant, the sound of killing shook the sky. Thousands of puppets, led by some true god puppets, rushed into the battlefield, coming into contact with everyone in the blink of an eye. Rumble! The sound of explosions was endless. As soon as they met, the powerhouses from all sides demonstrated their strength. Dozens of corpses were blown up directly. Some of these corpses were already extremely rotten. Some even looked like they had been dead for more than 2,000 years. It was unknown if the two kings had a hobby of collecting corpses. During the battle of the earthly emperor god dynasty's destruction, they might have collected some corpses. There were powerhouses on all sides, but there were also powerhouses among the corpse puppets. Some true god-level corpse puppets were also incomparably powerful. Ah! A scream was heard. A rank 8 powerhouse encountered a true god corpse puppet. He threw a punch, but it did not shake the other party's body. Instead, the other party grabbed his head and crushed it on the spot. In this kind of chaotic battle, the explosion of a golden body was almost equivalent to death. Even if his mentality still existed, it would soon be crushed by the aftershocks of the battle between the powerhouses from all sides. Below, the battle broke out instantly. In the air, Qi Huanyu and the others were in no hurry to attack. A few golden armors and a few emperor-level corpse puppets gathered near the young man. Di Hao looked at the battle below, his expression indifferent. Qi Huanyu laughed when he saw that. Then he said loudly, "Everyone, kill the blood armors around you. Kill them all, and the seal will break." At this moment, the blood armors surrounded the corpse puppets in all directions, behind them. As long as they killed the corpse puppets and the blood armors, the heaven-sealing formation would break. Kill! The powerhouses below did not hesitate either. Many powerhouses on the combat leaderboard had come this time, and all of them displayed their corresponding combat strength. These people took the lead and walked in the air. If they encountered a corpse puppet, as long as it was not a true god-level corpse puppet, they would kill it on the spot. After conveying the order, Qi Huanyu looked around and said coldly, "You're relying on these corpses to kill us? If that's all, then you're underestimating us." Di Hao did not say anything. After watching for a while, he said indifferently, "I know you, Qi Huanyu, the #1 on the combat leaderboard. I'd also like to see how powerful the origin powerhouses are now. Previously, you've disappointed me. As you wish." Qi Huanyu growled. Without another word, he charged forward with his spear. Kill! The top-notch powerhouses from both sides came into contact in the sky, killing each other rapidly. The energy surged. Some of the rank 9s around them had no choice but to retreat. There was a huge gap between them and these people. Underground, Fong Ping and a half-crippled rank 8 corpse were fighting back and forth. It was a heated battle. Other corpses wanted to join in, but Fong Ping quietly avoided them and led them to the side to fight with others. Fong Ping looked at the humans. Kong Lingyuan had not attacked yet. Old Man Li, Wu Chuan, Wu Quishan, and the others had attacked. Some were fighting with the emperor-level corpse puppets, and some were fighting with the golden armors. However, Kong Lingyuan kept walking in the air. He did not attack, protecting the people in the team. Seeing this, Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Kong Lingyuan's attack power aside, he still had a way with defense. It was not a lie that he had defended against 12 rank 9s previously. With him around, the safety of the humans was greatly increased. There are a lot of corpse puppets. Relying on the corpse puppets might not be able to kill many people, right? Fong Ping fought with the rank 8 corpse while looking around. What kind of tricks did these guys have up their sleeves? Those blood-armored soldiers did not join in the battle. Instead, they sealed off the surroundings. Clearly, they were very confident. Otherwise, if these 100 people joined in the battle, a lot more people would die. How are the corpses controlled? Fong Ping slapped the rank 8 corpse puppet in front of him. His mentality kept probing. Very soon, he found something unusual. These corpses seemed to have a trace of mentality left in their brains, extremely weak. Fong Ping sensed carefully, frowning slightly. He looked around again. This aura, it was not Di Hao's. Who's controlling the corpses? Fong Ping continued to check, but he did not find anyone with such an aura. Those blood armors and golden armors were not. There's still someone in the dark. They're not too far away from here. They might be outside the array. Di Hao seems to be prepared. That's right. Otherwise, if someone found out and killed the person controlling them, wouldn't the corpses be crippled? But I don't have to go out and kill people. Fong Ping was secretly happy. I can just imitate the aura. I don't have to kill people. There were many corpses here. They were also a powerful force. Once he could control them, he could use the corpses to kill others at any time. This guy's mentality isn't weak. This method, Fong Ping judged and sensed carefully. Very soon his eyes moved. This was a little like Quokang Mountain's method of controlling monsters. He remembered Gong Zhuanzi said that the core of controlling monsters was to cut off a bit of spiritual consciousness to control the other party. Could it be that Quokang Mountain's combat technique was broken like this? Someone knows a similar mentality control technique. Fong Ping thought about this. While the others were not paying attention, he secretly imitated this aura. As a result, he frowned again. Oh no, his mentality was not as strong as this person's. My mentality is 9,699 hertz, close to 10,000 hertz. This person shouldn't have reached 10,000 hertz, right? It doesn't feel like desperation realm. In that case, it might be the limit below 10,000 hertz. This is troublesome. I can't control it. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. This was troublesome. In that case, these corpses could not be used by him anymore. Rumble. As he was thinking, a person beside him was blown up by a few corpse puppets. Fong Ping glanced at it. It was a weak rank 9. He seemed to be from Sky Plant's royal court. Rank 8 is like a dog, like grass, dead just like that. Fong Ping sighed in his heart. This was also caused by coincidence. Every battle he participated in, it was almost always arranged by top-notch powerhouses. Naturally, rank 8s and 9s were not worth much. In reality, there were more powerhouses in the 3 realms than 1/10 of the rank 9s gathered here this time. If they were really cooked in one pot, all parties might not be able to bear such a loss. Fong Ping was still dawdling. As a rank 8 martial artist, he was not eye-catching. After fighting with the rank 8 corpse puppets for a long time, not many people paid attention to him. The killing became more and more intense. Corpse puppets were blown up one by one. Rank 8 and 9 martial artists were killed on the spot. Among the thousands of corpse puppets, the weak ones were also gradually eliminated. However, the powerhouses from all 4 sides were now surrounded in the center. Those corpses did not know death and were not afraid of death. They kept charging and killing, shrinking everyone's activity space step by step. Previously, the powerhouses from all 4 sides were thousands of meters apart. However, at this moment, thousands of people were squeezed into the space of 1,000 meters. They're all squeezed together. I can even attack Old Kong now, Fong Ping thought casually in his heart. As soon as this thought came to his mind, Fong Ping was suddenly stunned. He could attack Kong Lingyuan now? Moreover, the battle circle seemed to be shrinking. The surrounding blood armor warriors were also moving forward, shrinking the seal. No, something's wrong. I forgot something. I forgot the time. At this moment, Fong Ping was terrified. I forgot the time. What time? The time when Qi Huanyu and Di Hao encountered each other. After attacking and killing the human, Qi Huanyu fled quickly. He was a top-notch rank 9 powerhouse. Fong Ping and the others stayed for a while before they started to chase. However, when they caught up to Qi Huanyu in golden armor had not started fighting yet. Both sides seemed to have just encountered each other. The battle that followed only broke out after they arrived. Time difference. I forgot the time difference. At least 1 minute. What was Qi Huanyu doing in that 1 minute? What was Di Hao doing? Fong Ping's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. Qi Huanyu and Di Hao fought and was almost killed. No one had considered this question. He only felt that he had forgotten something, but he did not think too much about it. Gu Qing and the others did not know that Qi Huanyu had attacked and killed the human before escaping. However, the thought that had just arisen made Fong Ping extremely terrified. The catacombs and the other party have joined forces. As soon as the thought came to mind, Fong Ping could not care anymore. They wanted to wipe out all the other forces in one fell swoop. Watch out! The catacombs and the two kings have joined forces. An extremely sharp roar rang out. At this moment, the situation changed. Chapter 952. Ah! A shriek was heard. Qi Huanyu and Di Hao, who were fighting, attacked at the same time. One spear and the other spear attacked Luo Yu, who was closest to them. Two top-notch powerhouses attacked. Luo Yu was fighting a golden-armored powerhouse. The golden-armored powerhouse was prepared. The moment the two attacked, he ignored his injuries and kept Luo Yu occupied. The powerhouse, ranked 8th on the leaderboard, had half of his golden body destroyed by the three of them. Golden flesh and blood splattered in the air. Senior, Prince, countless powerhouses from the overseas immortal islands were furious. Luo Yu was the strongest top-notch rank 9 from the overseas immortal islands this time. Now he was severely injured in the blink of an eye. The overseas immortal islands were in big trouble. Qi Huanyu. Luo Yu was not dead yet. At this moment, he tore apart the void, and his half of the golden body instantly moved tens of meters away, dodging the second attack of the two. Suddenly, a sense of danger came from behind. Ah! Another shriek was heard. Luo Yu's head exploded. No! Everyone was stunned. Luo Yu was dead? As for the person who made the move, it was beyond everyone's expectations. Gu Qing. The three parties have joined forces. Wu Quishan was livid. He roared, "Kill! Kill them!" The three parties have joined forces. Even Grandmaster had joined forces with them. Gu Qing's rescue of Qi Huanyu was a trap. They were putting on a show. Kill! None of the humans dared to believe it now. With the addition of the Divine Court Army, the five forces had originally been attacking one side from 4 sides, but now it had become 3 against 2. There were more than 400 rank 9s in the catacombs and close to 200 in Grandmaster. Together with the Divine Court Army, there were more than 700 rank 9s. That was not counting the corpses. It was hopeless. The humans and the overseas immortal islands only had more than 400 rank 9s. The difference was almost double. Qi Huanyu, Di Hao, Gu Qing. These top-notch powerhouses were on their side. Gu Qing. Qi Huanyu. You're asking a tiger for its skin? Jiang Quishan was terrified. Oh no! At this moment, Qi Huanyu and Gu Qing shouted, "Kill them all, quick!" Many people were also a little confused. Qi Huanyu and the others had not told everyone. Some people did not understand, but some people knew. The moment the two of them made their moves, the experts of Ping Yu Heaven also made their moves, charging towards the humans. Among the catacombs powerhouses, there were also dozens of them who were swiftly charging towards Kong Lingyuan. As for Fong Ping, that roar earlier had also foiled his stealth plan. At this moment, someone had also noticed him. In the sky, Qi Huanyu, Gu Qing, and Di Hao had worked together to destroy Luo Yu's golden body. At this moment, they all looked at Fong Ping. Qi Huanyu burst out laughing. "You're Fong Ping? How dare you? I was almost fooled by you." Di Hao, Gu Qing, kill him. Luo Yu was the leader of the extraterrestrial immortal islands, while Fong Ping was the leader of the human world. After killing these two, the morale of the army would be shaken. Let's see how they would continue fighting. Fong Ping leaped into the air, returning to his original form in the blink of an eye. With a punch, he blasted out a gigantic spatial rift, killing a weak rank 9 right in front of him on the spot. Fong Ping roared furiously. "Idiot! Mother asterisk cur! The three of you are working together. Gu Qing, you idiot! You'll be the next to die. You have a sharp tongue." Qi Huanyu knew that he could talk. Without giving him any time, he slashed his spear across the sky. At this moment, Old Man Li's sword Qi's sword into the sky, slashing a golden-armored powerhouse in half. He flew across the sky and roared, "Qi Huanyu, I'll fight you." Overseas immortal islands. Yu Wuhua of Immortal Inquiry Island was also shocked and furious. He could not care less and shouted, 33 islands. Join forces with the human world and kill the enemy." As soon as he finished speaking, he soared into the sky and headed straight for Gu Qing. The water buffalo, Li Wuji, was also roaring furiously. This turn of events was far beyond their expectations. Not only was the catacombs not enough, but Grandmaster had also joined in. In this case, all of them might really be killed. Kill. Bitter seas demons. Follow me to kill the enemy. The water buffalo's horns emitted a dazzling golden glow, swiftly charging toward a golden-armored powerhouse. At this moment, the battlefield was in chaos. Ah! Screams were heard one after another. They were being attacked from both sides. There were corpse puppets in front and the joint attack from both sides behind. Danger had arrived. Qi Huanyu, I've underestimated you. Fong Ping wielded the god-slaying saber and slashed, shattering the void and colliding with the long spear. The web between Fong Ping's thumb and index fingers split open, blood dripping down. Qi Huanyu's movements were sluggish, his expression horrified. This fellow was getting stronger and stronger. Fong Ping did not retreat. The last time they fought, he did not manage to kill Fong Ping in one move, but he managed to send Fong Ping flying dozens of meters backward, slamming into the wall and sliding down. Now, Fong Ping had blocked the force of his spear. Just as Qi Huanyu was about to continue attacking, Old Man Li arrived. Break! His sword slashed across the sky. Humph! Qi Huanyu snorted. Longevity sword? Fourth on the leaderboard? He would like to see how capable he was to be ranked fourth. Fong Ping did not linger. He roared, Ling Xiao, stop Dihao. Jiang Kuei, Xinhua, lead your people to fight the divine court troops. 6 holy lands, humans, follow me to kill the catacombs martial artists. Jiang Kuei and the others who were hesitant earlier changed their expressions when they heard that. The catacombs had close to 500 rank 9s. Although many had died, these people had put in a lot of effort to put on a show. Many of them had been killed. However, there were still more than 400 rank 9s left. Sino Nation, including the 6 holy lands, only had about 100 rank 9s. Fong Ping actually said to let the human martial artists defend the catacombs. At this moment, even Jiang Ke was speechless. Although there were many corpse dummies, the divine court troops were still maintaining the seal and did not attack. With so many of them, they might have a chance to break through the siege. Follow me and kill. Jiang Kuei roared. He brandished his long spear and led the Waiyishan troops to attack. Xinhua and the others hesitated no more. They fought for survival in the face of death. Fong Ping broke through the air. At this moment, he was incomparably ferocious. A rank 9 who was blocking the way was about to stop him when Fong Ping's golden house crashed down. The god-slaying saber emitted a blinding light and slashed. He allowed the other party to attack his head. Fong Ping's saber swept out and slashed the other party in half. He did not care whether he was dead or alive. Old Kong, hang in there. At this moment, the humans were also surrounded by the catacombs powerhouses. Jinin led hundreds of rank 9s and swarmed over, mixed with a large number of corpse dummies. In the blink of an eye, the humans were surrounded tightly. Kong Ling Yuan's folding fan expanded, but it began to crack in an instant. Tian Mu, Su Yunfei, Zhou Xinghe, these powerhouses attacked one after another. Su Yunfei killed more than 10 corpse dummies with one slash, but in the blink of an eye, he was confronted by a brawny axe-wielding man from the catacombs. A powerhouse who was in the top 20 on the Wind Cloud list. Everyone, protect Junior Sister and escort her away. At this moment, Wang Hanyue's low shout reached Fong Ping's ears. Fong Ping looked out of the corner of his eye and roared, Dragon changing the heavens, if you dare to run, I will not let you go even if I die. Wang Hanyue, kill the enemy for me. If you dare to run, I will kill Wang Ruobing first. As he spoke, Fong Ping let out a wild roar and kicked a rank 8 until he exploded. The golden house crashed down again, smashing dozens of corpse dummies into pieces. In front, Wang Ruobing was protected by Dragon changing the heavens and the others. When she looked back, she saw Fong Ping dashing into the catacombs camp and returning to help the humans. Her expression changed slightly, and she said softly, Senior Sister, you can't run. Kill them. Wang Hanyue was shocked by Fong Ping's ferocity just now. Her heart palpitated slightly. At that moment, Fong Ping gave her the feeling that he was going to kill her in the next moment. At this moment, hearing Wang Ruobing's words, Wang Hanyue's expression changed. If she was here, she would not run now. But looking at the blood armor warriors again, Wang Hanyue sighed softly. Kill them! Kill the enemy! Wang Hanyue shouted. With a swing of her sword, a few corpse dummies in the way were killed. She was also a top-notch powerhouse at the top of the ranking list. Jinan Lu Wuxian, you're asking for it? Fong Ping charged into the camp directly, letting some rank 9s attack him. Blood flowed from his mouth, his eyes bloodshot, and he slashed at Jinan. Jinan's expression did not change. She shouted in a low voice, surround him and kill him. Fong Ping was asking for it. There were so many powerhouses in Divine Land, yet he dared to rush here. What else could it be if he was not asking for it? Dozens of powerhouses charged toward Fong Ping instantly. Fong Ping did not care. He slashed with his saber, and there was a loud bang. Fong Ping flew backward, smashing a big pit on the ground. Everyone was about to chase after him when Jinan's expression changed. She shouted, "Be careful." At this moment, everyone realized that something was wrong. Fong Ping's aura disappeared. In the next moment, a rank 9 powerhouse felt a chill down his spine. He did not have time to think. Just as he was about to dodge, he saw his torso exploding, and in the blink of an eye, his head exploded too. Fong Ping disappeared in a flash, roaring, "Come and kill me. If you can't kill me, all of you will die today." Having said that, Fong Ping turned around and transformed. In the blink of an eye, he looked like Jinan. He rushed into the crowd instantly. Jinan's expression was livid. She roared, "Surround him! Don't give him a chance to blend in with us." The scene was too chaotic. A powerhouse like Fong Ping could turn into someone else with a shake of his body. If they could not keep up with his speed, then they would be in big trouble. Who knew if the companion next to him was still the one just now? Quick, surround him. The rest of you, follow me to kill the resurrected martial artists. Kill them, then kill Fong Ping. At this moment, Kong Lingyuan kept his folding fan. Looking at the cracks on the fan, he laughed bitterly. Then he shouted quickly, "Everyone, there's no way out. The catacombs is a great enemy of life and death. When we meet on a narrow path, only the brave will win. Kill." With a palm to the sky, he crushed a weak rank 9 directly. Many powerhouses attacked one after another. Even the rank 8s in the crowd were not afraid at this moment. Humans in the catacombs had been fighting for many years. What kind of desperate situation had they not encountered before? They would just kill. Even if they had to die, they would take a few beasts with them. Tragic. The moment the war broke out, there were heavy casualties. There were casualties on both sides. The sound of self-destruction roared. Below, Fong Ping could not care less about who was alive and who was dead. Right now, his only goal was to mess up the crowd. Mess. He wanted to make this place chaotic. Make it impossible for the catacombs to form a besieging camp. Changing, constantly changing. Fong Ping did not even know who he had turned into. His speed was extremely fast, killing everyone he saw. The god-slaying saber was incomparably sharp. Even if it was a rank 9 divine weapon, it would be slashed by the god-slaying saber. However, with so many powerhouses, even if Fong Ping created chaos, he could not avoid the predicament of being surrounded. Very soon, Fong Ping was surrounded by a group of powerhouses. Rumble! Under these people's joint efforts, they tore the void apart directly, hitting Fong Ping's golden body until it exploded. This was not just 1 or 2, but more than 20 rank 9s. Even Fong Ping could not withstand it. His golden body cracked. Large amounts of imperishable matter were constantly replenished. Even so, this was the first time Fong Ping felt that the recovery speed could not keep up with the speed of consumption. Puff! Fragments of internal organs mixed with blood spurted out, directly piercing through a rank 9's head. You bunch of idiots! How dare you cooperate with Second King? The next ones to die will be you. Everyone, Fong Ping roared suddenly. Surround and kill the catacombs' powerhouses with all your might. Even if you die, you must make them pay the price. Make them the weakest party. I want Qi Huan Yu to die with me. As soon as he said this, the water buffalo suddenly roared wildly, mentality fluctuating. Kill the catacombs' martial artists. Kill them. Gu Qing, get your people to make way. I'll only kill them. Even if I die, you will be the ones who will benefit from it in the end. The water buffalo roared madly, its horns also bursting with a powerful and terrifying sharp light. Gu Qing, who was fighting with Yu Wuhua, did not make a sound. However, below, the attacking momentum of some of the Grandmaster people seemed to have slowed down. Qi Huan Yu, who had sent Old Man Li flying with a spear, saw this and scolded angrily. You still want to scheme against each other now? You bunch of trash. No wonder you are still so useless after all these years. He was really angry. What kind of situation was this? These Grandmaster people actually still had the mood to do this. With a short sentence from Fong Ping, these fellows actually began to make way, allowing the overseas Immortal Islands people to kill their way into the tight encirclement. Qi Huan Yu was furious. These people were not worth conspiring with. Even if these people were old antiques at this moment, in his eyes, they were still trash, stupid, incompetent. They were really stupid. You're even more useless. At this moment, Old Man Li let out a strange laugh and said, I have a sword, break longevity. When this sword was unleashed, Qi Huan Yu's expression changed slightly. It was the same sword from last time. Li Chongsheng was far less powerful than he was now. Qi Huan Yu instinctively wanted to dodge. If he dodged this sword, the longevity sword would be useless. When he dodged, Old Man Li's target was not him at all. This sword went straight for the rank 9s who surrounded Fong Ping. Bang! 3 consecutive explosions were heard. This sword was too fast, so fast that the others could not react at all. They also did not expect Li Chongsheng, who was fighting with Qi Huan Yu, to have the energy to attack them. 3 rank 9s were killed with 1 sword. At the same time, Fong Ping did not care. Like a street thug, he hugged a rank 9 and took the attacks from the others. Fong Ping was beaten until his flesh and blood splattered. A few of his golden bones were cracked. The person he hugged, on the other hand, had his golden body blown up directly. Fong Ping wrapped his arms around him and crushed him into a bloody pulp. Old Man Li killed 3 rank 9s with 1 sword. Behind him, Qi Huan Yu reacted and stabbed his spear, piercing through his chest. Longevity! At this moment, Wu Chuan and the rest were anxious too. They roared furiously, killing each other while bathed in blood. Some killed the golden-armored powerhouses until they exploded continuously. Some killed the catacombs' martial artists until their limbs were sent flying. Seeing this scene, Di Hao, who had not made a move since the beginning, frowned slightly as he looked at the grinning Ling Xiao opposite him. Ling Xiao did not seem anxious at all. She just looked at him and giggled. Ling Xiao, when he saw a golden-armored powerhouse on his side being beheaded by Wu Chuan, Di Hao frowned slightly. You want to stop me? Why don't you take a guess? Di Hao seemed to be a little wary of Ling Xiao. He said in a low voice, You know what happened back then? You and I are not enemies. Are you going to stop me? He asked me to stop you. Ling Xiao pointed at Fong Ping below, who was covered in blood. She giggled. My master promised him to lend him a hand. I can only stop you then. But... Ling Xiao giggled. But since you killed him, I don't have to care anymore. Di Hao's gaze flickered. The next moment, he no longer cared about Ling Xiao. He dashed toward Fong Ping at lightning speed. Kill! A soft, low growl rang in Fong Ping's ears. The next moment, Fong Ping felt a pain in his chest. A blood-colored spear had pierced through his body. His 9th-level golden body seemed to have lost its effect at this moment. Fong Ping spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. Then, he let out a loud roar, grabbed the spear tip, and stabbed it forward. The spear pierced through his body. Behind him, Di Hao gave up control and let the spear pierce through his body, impaling a rank 9 powerhouse who had just rushed toward him. After the spear pierced through that person, Di Hao stretched out his hand and grabbed it. The spear landed in his hand instantly. Once again, he stabbed it toward Fong Ping's head. Fong Ping's eyes flashed. He ignored him and dashed toward the catacombs' martial artists. Di Hao was slightly stunned. This was his first time encountering such a situation. The other party did not want to fight him, but killed the catacombs' martial artists, even if he had pierced him with a spear just now. Interesting, Di Hao chuckled. Without another word, he charged toward Fong Ping again. Fong Ping did not fight him. He dashed into the crowd, not caring who the other party was, waving his saber and slashing. At this moment, a strange scene appeared on the entire battlefield. The humans and the overseas immortal islands went crazy, only killing the catacombs' martial artists. Even if there were divine court military powerhouses, corpse puppets, and grandmasters behind them, they did not care. They only killed the catacombs' powerhouses. In such a large-scale, chaotic battle, the number of casualties increased drastically. Rumble. Explosions rang out one after another. The humans used the imperishable substances given by Fong Ping one after another. However, in the blink of an eye, people still started falling. The rank 8 powerhouses who came in were the first to bear the brunt. These people could usually gang up on rank 9s. However, there were countless rank 9s now, and the chaotic battle was endless. If they fought a rank 9s alone, or even were surrounded and killed by rank 9s, how could they resist? A human rank 8 from the Wuhan military who Fong Ping was familiar with laughed and roared, "I hope to fight for humans again in my next life." Rumble. An explosion rang out. Souls returned to the catacombs. "Brothers, see you in our next life." A rank 9 powerhouse roared. In the next moment, his golden body was destroyed by many rank 9s, but his mentality remained. He had no intention of escaping, condensing into a blood-red saber, exploding in the crowd in the blink of an eye. Many rank 9s spat out blood. No! Half of Fong Ping's skull was smashed by someone. At this moment, he kicked a person's skull and burst it. Looking over, he roared madly. "All of you, stay alive! Stay alive! I'm not dead yet." Ling Xiao. Attack. It's fine as long as you're not dead. Master said that I don't need to care if you're not dead. Ling Xiao. If you don't attack, Heavenly King Suppression will destroy your Mount Wangwu lineage. That's Master and the rest's business. It has nothing to do with me. Ling Xiao was not agitated. Fong Ping saw this, and his eyes flashed. He said nothing. It was better to rely on oneself than on others. He glanced at the 7 to 8 rank 9s surrounding him. There were still several rank 19s outside. Fong Ping laughed bitterly. "You forced me to do this." As soon as he said that, the golden house exploded with a rumble. Fong Ping's face was pale. This time, the void shook violently. It was unprecedentedly intense. Fong Ping did not care about that. Taking advantage of this gap, the god-slaying saber swept in all directions, chopping off many rank 9s' torsos in the blink of an eye. Just when some people outside wanted to escape, Fong Ping's mentality recovered rapidly. With a rumble, he exploded again. Once again, he killed some people. At this moment, Fong Ping was like a mad demon. Self-destruct. Kill the enemy. Self-destruct. Kill the enemy. After 7 to 8 times, these people did not have time to react. The rank 9s around them had already been killed. Fong Ping was bleeding all over. His head had recovered, but his eyes were a little dull. Crack, a faint cracking sound was heard in his mind. Fong Ping laughed bitterly. He knew that his brain nucleus was about to explode. It was worth it. He killed more than 20 rank 9s. From start to finish, he alone had killed close to 30 rank 9s. Qi Huanyu, Di Hao, Gu Qing. Fong Ping laughed out loud. "If I don't die, all of you will live in my nightmare for the rest of your lives." Just when Fong Ping was about to self-destruct his mentality again, Wu Chuan broke through the air and came to him. His chest was penetrated. He pressed down on him and roared, "Enough, it's not your turn yet." As soon as he said that, Wu Chuan attacked with his sword, clashing with Di Hao, who had just arrived. Both parties had only fought for a short, while when the already heavily injured Wu Chuan's lower body was broken by Dihao's spear. Wu Chuan recovered rapidly. Fang Ping gave him a look, gritted his teeth, and said, "You hold on. I'll go kill the others." As soon as he said that, Fang Ping dashed toward the catacombs camp again. This time, many people were a little afraid. Dozens of people surrounded Fang Ping, but in the end, all of them died. Ji Nen was fighting with Tian Mu at this time. Seeing this, she roared, "Kill him. He's an arrow at the end of its flight. Let him self-destruct. Let's see how many times he can self-destruct." There were more than 400 rank 9s on the catacomb side. Now, there were more than 300 people left. As for the humans in overseas Immortal Islands rank 9s, there were only about 300 people left. At this moment, rank 9s died like rain. Guqing's side suffered the least losses. 200 rank 9s. Other than a few people, there were almost no losses. Both parties were killing their people. Even when they were attacked from behind by Guqing and his group, these people were still incomparably crazy, especially the humans. Even if they died, they would self-destruct. On the verge of death, they did not hesitate and self-destructed directly. Reborn martial artists. This was Jinan's first time witnessing the madness of reborn martial artists. There was even a moment where he was wavering. This time, the royal court killed Fang Ping and the rest, killed Wu Chuan and the rest. Once they went out, would it cause the land of rebirth to go all-out war with the royal court regardless of everything? Not against the catacombs, but like Fang Ping and the rest. Even if they died, even if the royal court like Tianji attacked, they would not care, just staring at them and killing them. Was I wrong? Jinan wavered slightly. Very soon he stopped thinking. There was no more chance for regret. Qi Huanyu and the Divine Court army joined forces to strangle the overseas Immortal Islands powerhouses and the reborn martial artists. Actually, the most important reason was to surround and kill the reborn martial artists. He knew that Fang Ping and the rest had many tricks up their sleeves. Fang Ping, Li Changsheng, Wu Quishan, Wu Chuan, Tian Mu, even the catacombs were familiar with these names. If these people did not die, sooner or later, they would become a disaster. Even if he could not get the treasure this time, in Qi Huanyu's opinion, he had to kill these reborn martial artists. Otherwise, there might be a few martial king powerhouses among them. In order to strangle them, Qi Huanyu did not hesitate to join forces with the enemy. Who would have thought that he would join forces with the other party? The Life King was the main force to strangle the two kings. In the land of war, the Life King was the one leading the operation. However, he had joined forces with the Divine Court army. This was also the only way to confuse everyone and lure the reborn martial artists into a trap. This time, they were directly trapped here. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to strangle them completely, especially Fang Ping, who had too many tricks. Qi Huanyu suspected that if he did not seize this opportunity, no one could kill Fang Ping. If he changed his aura and hid in the catacombs, who could find him? And now, the opportunity was right in front of him. The killing continued. Corpses piled up like mountains, and blood flowed like rivers. Booming sounds resounded throughout heaven and earth. More and more rank 9s died in battle. More and more powerhouses were surrounded and killed. The overseas Immortal Island side was already on the verge of collapse. Their leader, Luo Yu, seemed to have died in battle. Yu Wuhua was also no match for Guqing. He was killed by 2 Guqings. If this went on, this side would soon collapse. Once it collapsed, there would be no more chances. It was a dead end. Chapter 953. Outside. Names were extinguished one by one. A lot. In the blink of an eye, out of more than 1,500 names, about 200 were extinguished. Even names on the leaderboard were vanishing one by one. More than 100 names had already disappeared. Now, in less than 2 hours, a quarter of the manpower had been lost. What is there to mourn about life? What is there to fear about death? Taoist Fengyan sighed. More coffins appeared behind him. Names disappeared one by one, imprinted on the coffins. Sino Nation had 30 rank 9s and 20 rank 8s. On Stellar Sky City's side, there were also close to 20 rank 9s who had entered. 70 top-notch powerhouses. At this moment, more than 10 names were extinguished in the blink of an eye. An unprecedented loss. Magic City Battle, Tianan Battle, Purple Forbidden City Battle, even the Capital City Battle back then had not lost so many rank 8s and 9s. Humans could not afford to lose them. On the Sino leaderboard, there were 80 rank 9s and more than 100 rank 8s. In the whole of Sino Nation, there were only slightly more than 200 rank 8s. At this moment, Sino Nation had lost more than 5% of its powerhouses. And this was just the beginning. Not only Sino Nation, but other holy lands and countries, powerhouses' names were constantly vanishing. Zhang Tao seemed to be smiling and crying at the same time. Taoist Fengyan was still talking. Zhang Tao did not even look at him. Covering the sky with one hand, he crushed his illusion directly. The coffins behind him, the coffins that belonged to the Sino Nation powerhouses, shattered one after another. We are human martial artists. When we die in the catacombs, we don't need outsiders to collect our bodies. Zhang Tao stood up, looked around, and said in a loud voice, "Humans, never fear battle. Victory!" An emperor-level powerhouse shouted loudly. In the next moment, Warlord and the others shouted one after another. Victory! Unstoppable! A group of old people, a group of powerhouses like soldiers shouted loudly. Victory! Death! No fear! Death was not the end, just the beginning. In the king's battleground, Fang Ping was bathed in blood, but the enemies were endless. More and more. Outside, the blood-colored warriors began to shrink the seal. This time, they wanted to trap and kill these powerhouses. Qi Huanyu pierced Old Man Li with a spear again, saying indifferently, "Fourth on the leaderboard? You're still far from that." Old Man Li let out a ferocious roar. Once again, he struck with his sword. With a crack, the godly spear broke. The upper half was still inside Old Man Li's body. Far from it, Old Man Li grinned. "I'm 60 years old. How old are you?" "Trash. A bunch of trash dares to boast about talent and strength to us humans? Ridiculous." Even though Old Man Li was no match for his opponent, he still laughed maniacally. This time around, Qi Huanyu did not look down on them. After pondering for a moment, he threw down the broken spear and said with a smile, "That's right. The resurrected warriors do have great potential. That's why we set up this plan to kill them. Because you guys are too outstanding." This was a compliment. Yes, they were too outstanding. He was so outstanding that it made many people fearful and uneasy. One martial king could kill a martial emperor. But what about 2? What about 3? What about the group? They did not dare to wait any longer, especially the grandmasters. Other than the 6 that had joined the human side, the other grandmasters were all afraid. The Great Peace Celestial Emperor had died at the hands of King Wu. The martial artists of the human world did not have any respect, reverence, or subservience towards the realm beyond heavens. As a result, Gu Qing cooperated with them. Old Man Li wanted to laugh, but he could not. Looking around, there was no way out. Some of his old friends had died. Initially, he thought that once he stepped into rank 9, he would be invincible. He would be able to protect the people. He would be able to protect them. Now, it seemed like it was all in vain. Ah! At this moment, Old Man Li burst into laughter. "Everyone calls me the longevity sword, but they don't know that I have another sword. Qi Huanyu, I'll give it to you today." The next moment, Li Changxing's golden body exploded. Life sword. At this moment, a series of illusions appeared in the void. There was the old vice-chancellor that Fang Ping was familiar with, Huang Jing, who had died in the catacombs, MCMEU instructors and students, powerhouses from all over the world. They were all dead. The people had suffered, but they had no regrets. Even if they died, they would protect humanity. After fighting for more than 100 years, millions of people had died, but no one had ever complained of suffering or regret. This was the path of life. At this moment, Old Man Li overwhelmed the heroes, laughing. "I'll kill him. You guys continue to kill. I won't stop until you die." Kill. Monstrous murderous aura covered the entire battlefield. The fourth place on the ranking list was not an undeserved reputation. This time, Qi Huanyu felt an intense sense of danger. It was even more powerful than the previous slash. The previous slash, Li Chongqing had pretended to slash him. He had dodged, allowing Li Chongqing to kill 3 powerhouses. This time, he had not planned to dodge. However, when he felt the threat of death, Qi Huanyu's movements paused slightly. Then he left immediately. He was slightly afraid. Useless. Li Chongqing laughed. Useless, although he was strong, without the heart of a brave man. So what if he was invincible? Break. Rumble. 1 slash to break the sky. He did not plan to kill him at all. It was also very difficult to kill him. He wanted to break this cage and let everyone run for their lives. He slashed with his sword. Countless shadows were like vengeful spirits, each wielding a sword. In the blink of an eye, they had covered the 2 blood-armored warriors. Rumble. The 2 blood-armored warriors were extremely powerful, but at this moment, they could not fight back at all. They were directly cut into tens of thousands of pieces by the countless shadows. Click, a faint sound was heard. At this moment, Dihao shouted, "Mend!" With a loud roar, the other blood-armored powerhouses shouted one after another. Their faces were pale, and they began to mend the gap that had just been slashed. Don't think you can leave so easily. These blood-armored warriors had to pay a price to maintain the seal. They had paid such a huge price to kill these people. How could they let them escape? Once the seal was broken, these powerhouses would run in all directions. How many could they kill? Dihao shouted coldly. However, he had to admit that the longevity sword was truly powerful. He had slashed a gap in the seal, maintained by 98 blood-armored warriors. Moreover, he had killed 2 of them. This was the second time the blood-armored warriors had lost a blood-armored warrior after losing a blood-armored warrior. The longevity sword had killed one of the 5 golden-armored warriors. Dihao sighed inwardly. 4 of the Divine Court army had died, and 3 of them were killed by this person. This person deserved to die, but he was still a rare hero. The martial artists of the human world were truly different. How terrifying! In the air, Li Chongqing had a look of despair on his face. He was slightly disappointed. Half of his golden body had exploded, and he fell powerlessly. He had failed. He had thought that he could break the seal with his slash and fight for a way out for everyone. But he had failed. Now, he could no longer fight. His injuries were severe. Did he regret it? If he had known that he would not have broken the seal and continued fighting with Qi Huanyu, he would have been able to hold off a powerful enemy. Now, however, Qi Huanyu was free. Kid, I overestimated myself, Old Manly murmured, a little sorrowful. I couldn't break the seal. What should humanity do? I overestimated myself too. Fong Ping's panting rang in his ears. Fong Ping caught the half-dead Li Chongqing and grinned. I overestimated myself. I thought that the catacombs were our only opponents. Now I realize that I was wrong. In this world, we can only rely on ourselves. Old man, was I too naive? Qi Huanyu had already arrived in the air. He said mildly, "You didn't overestimate yourself. On the contrary, you underestimated yourselves. Compared to the 2 kings, you're more terrifying than the 2 kings." Dihao was stunned by his words. Wu Chuan's sword had pierced through his golden armor. Qi Huanyu ignored him and sighed. You've really underestimated your threat. The martial king massacred everywhere. You, Fong Ping, Li Chongqing have also massacred everywhere. You killed until everyone was terrified. You killed until we didn't dare to be your enemy. Is this normal? It's not normal. Qi Huanyu had too many things to say and too many feelings. The land of rebirth is the weakest, the shortest time to rise. But it's more impressive than Divine Land. Enemies are everywhere, but I'm unmoved. I used to wonder why Divine Land can't be like the land of rebirth. If that's the case, who would Divine Land be afraid of? It's a pity. I can only think about it. As Qi Huanyu spoke, a spear condensed from energy pierced through the air. It was unstoppable. Fong Ping blocked it with his saber. With a rumble, he stomped on the void and dragged Old Man Li back dozens of steps. Qi Huanyu followed closely, laughing. So, you can only die? Fong Ping, don't worry. Even if you die, I'll give you a proper burial. Prepare your own coffin. At this moment, Fong Ping's eyes went blank. Qi Huanyu's expression changed slightly. Then he spat out a mouthful of blood. The next moment, with a low growl, half of his head exploded. There was silence everywhere. Everyone was dumbfounded. Rumble. At this moment, a path appeared in the void. Crack! There was a faint cracking sound. Di Hao's expression changed. Then he roared, "Kill Fong Ping." Gu Qing, who was fighting with Yu Wuhua, also roared, "Kill Fong Ping and take the saber in his hand." Divine weapon. They did not realize that Fong Ping's saber was a divine weapon. They thought it was a powerful rank 9 divine weapon or even a divine weapon. In fact, they were not too tempted. However, when the wide path appeared in the void and a crack was slashed, these ancient powerhouses realized it. Divine weapon. Fong Ping's saber was a divine weapon. God-slaying saber. At this moment, many people thought of the saber in Song Mao's hand. Roar! An inhuman roar was heard. Qi Huanyu's head exploded again and again. He recovered in an instant, but his aura was greatly reduced. Then, he broke through the air and fled, leaving the place in the blink of an eye. Fong Ping also spat out a mouthful of blood. He came to his senses immediately. Watching Qi Huanyu escape, he grinned and said, "What a good-for-nothing. You don't deserve to be my whetstone." After all, he was only a rank 8. Qi Huanyu was the number 1 rank 9. Earlier, when he attacked Qi Huanyu's path of origin with his saber, he had slashed some of the paths. However, Qi Huanyu soon discovered it. If he still could not discover it, Qi Huanyu would be a dead man. Both of them fought in the path of origin for a while. Qi Huanyu paid a huge price to defeat Fong Ping and fled quickly. Even so, Qi Huanyu was seriously injured at this moment. His path of origin was severely damaged. A few hundred meters away, Qi Huanyu's face was livid. His path of origin seemed to have been cut off a little. It was about 500 meters away. This meant that he might only be able to use half of his path of origin's power. As a result, his combat strength dropped from a top rank 9 to the limit of about 300,000 calories, which was the strength of the top 20 on the leaderboard. He was terrified. Fong Ping was devastated. It consumed a lot. His wealth was consumed too much. Studying the path of origin usually did not consume that much. However, although he had injured Qi Huanyu in the fight earlier, his wealth was consumed more than 50 million. He had consumed a lot of his wealth when he gave Zhang Tao and the Sino nation martial artists who came in after a few times. His wealth was only close to 1 billion. If he was like Qi Huanyu, he would consume it all in no time. This was Fong Ping's first time trying to cut someone else's path of origin. At this moment, Fong Ping laughed suddenly. "Protect me. Watch me kill more than 100 enemies today." As soon as he said that, Wu Chuan, Wu Quishan, and the others roared in anger. Disregarding everything, they repelled their opponents and rushed to Fong Ping's side. The powerhouses of the 6 holy lands and various countries were also fighting and gathering toward Fong Ping. "I'll kill you first." Fong Ping pointed his saber at Ji Nan and grinned. In the next second, Ji Nan's head exploded. Qi Huanyu seemed hesitant, but he still rushed over quickly and shouted, "Let's work together and unleash the immortal god." Suppress him. Buzz. The void trembled. Even if Wu Chuan and the others were close to Fong Ping, it was difficult to stop the mentality explosion of so many powerhouses. Fong Ping's body trembled. In the blink of an eye, he retreated from Ji Nan's origin. His eyes were a little unfocused. As for Ji Nan, his head slowly recovered, but his eyes were dull. He collapsed with a loud bang. He did not die, but he was not much different from Kong Lingyuan and the others. Fong Ping coughed up blood and laughed. "It's even worse if I don't die. If Life King saves you, I'll twist my head off and give it to you." With the personality of the catacombs powerhouses, would they be willing to pay such a huge price to save a level 5 or 6 origin martial artist? Even if they were from the Ji family. Kill them. Di Hao, Gu Qing, and Qi Huanyu roared in anger. Fong Ping wielded the divine weapon and charged into the path of origin. It was very difficult to defend. The top-notch powerhouses might be able to handle it if they were prepared. The other martial artists below level 7 origin were almost defenseless. Of course, this was not without a price. They also knew that the divine weapon could cut the path of origin. However, it was said that the price was very high. Although they did not see what Fong Ping had paid, it must not have been easy. Fong Ping did not care about this. He glanced at his wealth again and closed his eyes without another word. Bang! Another powerhouse's head exploded. This time, the other party could not resist at all. His head exploded in the blink of an eye. He was only a level 2 origin martial artist. Fong Ping, on the other hand, did not target those powerhouses anymore. It was very difficult for him to kill them. Moreover, it would cost too much wealth. It was not worth it. It was better to kill some weak rank 9s and let their combat strength decline rapidly. With Fong Ping as the center, there were battles and killings in all directions. The catacombs, divine court army, and Grandmaster all wanted to seize the divine weapon and kill Fong Ping. The others, on the other hand, saw hope. One after another, they protected Fong Ping, hoping that they could survive. Bang, bang, bang. One by one, the heads of the weak rank 9s exploded. Fong Ping discovered a serious problem. Cutting someone else's path of origin, even if it was just a weak rank 9s, would cost much more than just observing. The starting price was 20 million points. This was the lowest. In the blink of an eye, more than 20 rank 9s' heads exploded. Fong Ping suddenly opened his eyes. His face turned even paler. His wealth was only about 300 million points left. He could not use it anymore. If he used it again, the people present would not even have the imperishable substance to recover. Fong Ping looked around, his face full of despair. There were close to 300 rank 9s and rank 8s he brought with him. Now, there were less than 200 people left alive. More than 100 had died in battle. This place had become a real meat grinder. Overseas, Immortal Islands had about 200 rank 9s and about 100 rank 8s. Right now, Fong Ping's side was left with less than 150 people. More than half of them had died. Both sides had lost more than 200 powerhouses in an instant. However, when he saw the catacombs side, Fong Ping suddenly grinned, panting. Qi Huanyu, does it feel good? More than 600 rank 8s and rank 9s. How many are left? At this moment, Qi Huanyu was also looking around, his gaze solemn. More than 200. On the catacombs side, almost all of the rank 8s were wiped out. More than half of the rank 9s had died in battle too. At this moment, there were only more than 200 powerhouses left. On the other hand, Grandmaster's losses were minimal. Even the divine court army. Qi Huanyu ignored him. He looked at Gu Qing and said coldly, "Should I let the tiger back into the mountains? Or should you all contribute? I'm not an idiot if I don't do my best. Our people have suffered heavy casualties. I don't even know if I can walk out of here alive." As he said that, he looked at Di Hao and said darkly, "Your divine court army didn't attack. Neither did your emperor-level puppets. You used some useless puppets to make up the numbers." Di Hao, do you think I can't tell? Di Hao frowned and said coldly, "The divine court army has expended a lot of energy. We still need to seal this place. Once we attack, the seal will be broken. Can you stop them from breaking out?" There were still many people on both sides. More than 300 people. Without the seal, more than half of them would have to escape. While both sides were talking, in the air, dozens of Mount Wangwu disciples had gathered around Ling Xiao. Fong Ping and Di Hao did not count Mount Wangwu disciples in earlier. These people seemed to be watching a show. In the beginning, Mount Wangwu people helped to kill the puppets. Later, they stopped altogether and gathered together with Ling Xiao. Di Hao did not stop them. Fong Ping and the others were even more powerless to turn hostile at this time. As time went by, Mount Wangwu's side had almost become outsiders. At this moment, Ling Xiao landed on the ground, stepping on the corpses on the ground. Her boots were stained with blood. She looked at Fong Ping and giggled. Little brother, give me the god-slaying saber, and I'll help you. How about that? Ling Xiao. Di Hao's expression was ugly. Ling Xiao giggled. It's a divine weapon. Who doesn't want it? As soon as she said that, Fong Ping tossed the god-slaying saber into her hand. Everyone was silent. Fong Ping said mildly, attack. Ling Xiao seemed a little dazed, a little in disbelief. You're giving it to me just like that? Fong Ping said coldly. Human lives are more valuable than divine weapons. Ling Xiao, if you're not willing to attack, I won't force you. Help me bring a few people out. Having said that, Fong Ping pointed at the few remaining rank 8 martial artists in the crowd and laughed bitterly. A divine weapon in exchange for the lives of a few rank 8 martial artists. Don't worry, Fong Ping, will not run. The rank 9 martial artists will not run either. Since Mount Wangwu is familiar with the Divine Court Army and you, Ling Xiao, can stay out of this, there must be something I don't know. I don't care. God-slaying saber in exchange for a few of them. How about that? Ling Xiao looked at him in surprise. After a while, she said, a divine weapon in exchange for a few rank 8s? Fong Ping thought for a while, then pointed at Wang Ruobing again and smiled. Add her in? Wang Hanyue breathed a sigh of relief. Fong Ping smiled. If you don't want Dragon Transformation's Emperor to go crazy and do whatever it takes, then let her go. Actually, he could ignore Wang Ruobing, but if he did, Dragon Transformation's people would probably go crazy. At this moment, they were already weak. If there was an internal strife, they would be in danger. Ling Xiao looked at him deeply. After a long while, she said, okay. Humph. Qi Huanyu snorted coldly. Ling Xiao turned her head abruptly and looked at him. She said coldly, you're not convinced? Qi Huanyu was about to speak when Di Hao said in a low voice, okay. Ling Xiao, bring them away. I will give you face. On the other side, Gu Qing also said slowly, I have no objections. Ling Xiao, you can't do it again. Take the divine weapon and bring these people away. I can ignore it, but if you fight for the treasure again, you will be forcing Beyond Avalon and Mount Wangwu to turn against each other. They did not want the divine weapon anymore. They also agreed to let some people go. At this moment, Fong Ping could not be more surprised. What was going on with Mount Wangwu? Qi Huanyu's expression changed slightly. He did not know what was going on, but the Divine Court Army and Beyond Avalon had actually compromised. Qi Huanyu frowned slightly at the few rank 8s, but he did not say anything. They were just rank 8s. Moreover, there was no prodigy like Fong Ping among them. At this moment, they were all half-crippled. If Fong Ping died, these people would probably be crippled too. If that was the case, it was a good thing that Mount Wangwu, which everyone was somewhat wary of, would not interfere. Ling Xiao gave him a great sense of crisis. Moreover, his Tao of Origin had been cut in half by Fong Ping. It might take time for him to recover. It was not a good time to cause trouble now. If that's the case, I will also give Mount Wangwu face and leave this place. Ling Xiao sneered and said with a grin, Fong Ping, are you sure you want to use the divine weapon to exchange for a few useless people? Before Master came in, he asked me to protect you. If you use the divine weapon in exchange for yourself, I might be able to bring you away. Before Fong Ping could speak, Qi Huanyu said in a low voice, then let's fight. Bring Fong Ping away, and Divine Land will fight to the death. There is no exception for any force. Ling Xiao did not seem to hear him. Fong Ping sneered and said lightly, are you sure? If you are, I will go with you. Ling Xiao's tone faltered. Fong Ping said calmly, don't talk nonsense. I will give you the divine weapon. Just bring them away. Ling Xiao, bring him away? Even if it was Mount Wangwu, it would be useless. Qi Huanyu and the others did not care about anything this time, mainly to kill him, unless Ling Xiao had the ability to kill everyone. In the rank 8, Qin Yaoting glanced at Fong Ping and said calmly, at this point, what's the point of leaving? Giving away the divine weapon for nothing? Are you stupid? Lu Polu only had half a torso left. He chuckled and said, "Are you sending us useless people out to wait for death? There's no need for that. If you die, who has so much imperishable substance to help us recover? It's better to die in battle and be called a hero." Fong Ping turned around to look at them and smiled. "Go out, it's better to live than to die. There will be hope, there will be." Just like old man Li, who was heavily injured but still made a comeback. "If that day comes, help me kill them." They glanced at him. Very soon, Chen Yaoding let out a low laugh. Without another word, he dragged Lu Polu out. "Go. We have to live. Live until that day." Right now, they had no more strength to fight. Even if they self-destructed, they might not be able to hurt anyone, so they had to live. Even if they had to become deserters. Even if they could never recover in this lifetime. They had to live to return to the human world. They had to live to tell everyone how many heroes there were in this battle. The place was eerily quiet. Ling Xiao was very surprised. Suddenly, she felt a chill in her heart. These rank 8 martial artists left just like that. Yet, they left, which made her even more disappointed. Outsiders said that Ling Xiao was a freak, but at this moment, she suddenly felt that she might not be as good as these rank 8 martial artists. That kind of calmness made her a little uneasy. This was a group of people who were depressed to the point of going crazy, or rather, people who had already gone crazy. It was fine if these people could not recover, but once they did, they might all be devils. Qi Huanyu's eyes were cold and fierce, ready to make a move. He felt it too. Although these people were crippled, if they could recover like the longevity sword, it would be terrifying. Ling Xiao looked at him abruptly and said coldly, "If you dare to attack, I'll join forces with the Divine Court Army and kill all of you." When he heard that, Qi Huanyu's expression changed, and he looked at Di Hao immediately. Di Hao frowned. Ling Xiao said coldly, "I'm just unwilling, not unable. Di Hao, you know that." Di Hao took a deep breath and growled, "Let them go." Qi Huanyu's expression changed completely. He did not speak anymore. He did not expect that. What gave Mount Wangwu the confidence to let the Divine Court Army attack? Under everyone's gaze, Ling Xiao led the rank 8 martial artists and Wang Ruobing to the edge of the barrier. A golden-armored powerhouse hesitated for a moment, then slowly opened a gap. Ling Xiao let everyone out. After everyone had left, Ling Xiao turned around and looked at Fong Ping, smiling. "Little brother, don't hold a grudge. It's fine if you're dead, but don't hold a grudge against me when you're alive. I can't do it, and I can't let them do it either. The price is too high. It's not worth it. No, you're not a martial king. Otherwise, it would be worth it." After saying that, Ling Xiao giggled again and disappeared before everyone's eyes in the blink of an eye. The barrier closed again. Fong Ping grinned and smiled. "It's fine if I'm not dead. If I'm dead, you'll have a share of this grudge too. The divine weapon is not mine. I hope that cat can let you know that the divine weapon is not something anyone can take." Chapter 954. Global High Martial Arts Update delayed. Please wait for a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 955. Ling Xiao left. In all directions, a large number of corpse puppets began to advance slowly, the ground rustling as they stepped on it. On the overseas Immortal Island side, Yu Wuhua, Li Wuji, and a few other powerhouses also began to converge on Fong Ping's side. The powerhouses from the catacombs began to retreat. The powerhouses from Grandmaster glanced at Gu Qing. Gu Qing did not say anything. As such, these people continued to surround Fong Ping and the others and did not retreat. "Kill!" Di Hao let out a cold roar, and a large number of corpse puppets charged toward Fong Ping and the others. Although hundreds of corpse puppets had been killed, there were still tens of thousands of them. These rank 8 and rank 9 corpse puppets did not have strong combat strength. At this moment, they were comparable to rank 7 or rank 8 powerhouses. But ants can bite an elephant to death. With so many corpse puppets, Even if they couldn't kill the peerless powerhouses, it was more than enough to consume their immortal substance, mental strength, and blood energy. At this time, Fong Ping and the others were already an arrow at the end of its flight. Boom! Fong Ping stood guard at the forefront. With a punch, he killed several corpse puppets. Those who still have the strength to fight, those who can still fight, protect those heavily injured comrades. Fong Ping bellowed. Nearly 100 powerhouses took a step forward, shielding the heavily injured behind them. Kill! Fong Ping let out a furious roar. His vitality soared to the sky. His fists flashed, and a large number of corpse puppets were swept away. Kill! The angry roar shook the heavens. No one retreated. Wu Chuan, Wu Quishan, Li Daong, as well as the experts from the holy lands of Startown, were all bathed in blood as they fought fiercely. The top-notch expert Su Yunfei had already broken the long sword in his hand. Holding the energy sword in his hand, he did not say a word. He waved his sword horizontally and vertically, overflowing with killing intent. Corpse puppets exploded one by one. Although Weishan's Jiang Kui did not get along with Fong Ping previously, and both of them almost fought each other, in order to save his own life, he unleashed his mentality too. Like thousands of sharp swords, he stabbed the corpses one by one, bursting their skulls. Ever since Wang Hanyue saw Wang Ruobing leave, she seemed to have let go of all her worries. A thin sword appeared and disappeared unpredictably. With a swing of the sword, a bloody hole appeared on the corpse puppet's head. Xianhua, Su Bing, Hongji, and a large number of overseas experts began to fight each other. But everyone knew that this was just drinking poison to quench their thirst. It was a dead end. So what if he killed all these corpse puppets? On the catacomb side, there were more than 200 rank 9s. There were close to 200 rank 9 martial artists and grandmaster. The Divine Court Army still had 100 experts. By the time they killed all these corpse puppets, they would probably be crippled. Not to mention that the Divine Court Army was still waiting patiently. They didn't let the Emperor-level corpse puppets attack, and some of the true God corpse puppets were left to protect the blood armor warriors. Nearly 500 or 600 experts with a combat capability of rank 9 had yet to make a move. Just the thousands of corpse puppets were enough to exhaust everything they had. After the initial bloody battle, the three forces had completely trapped Fong Ping and the others. The only thing they needed to do now was to wait. This can't go on. Wu Quishan's expression was solemn. He killed a rank 9 corpse puppet with a slash of his sword, sending a voice transmission. Fong Ping, you can't. Pretend to be heavily injured and retract your aura. We will try our best to send you out. Tianmu also transmitted his voice and shouted, Quick, conserve your strength. Fong Ping, we are old, but you are still young. Later, we'll erupt in an instant and try to break a hole in the ground. You escape immediately. Fong Ping gritted his teeth, golden blood dripping down drop by drop. Leave? I brought a group of Sino Nation's most elite powerhouses into the battlefield, full of confidence, thinking of killing everywhere and snatching the treasure. Now, you want me to abandon these human elites and escape alone? I am the leader. If I leave, they will collapse immediately. Deserters in wartime are deserters. They should be killed without mercy. Idiots! Tianmu and the others' eyes were burning with anger. Deserters? You are the hope. Humanity's hope. If you don't leave, who will treat those heavily injured powerhouses? If you don't leave, the myth that you have created these few years will be completely shattered. You, Fong Ping, have died in the catacombs. The new generation of leaders have died in the catacombs. Do we humans still dare to fight? Leave! They roared with mentality. At this moment, their space of activity was further compressed. The corpse puppets advanced wave after wave. They did not know pain, did not care about casualties. Step by step, they stepped on the corpses of their own kind, shrinking their living space step by step. Some of the top-notch powerhouses could not hold on anymore. At the side, Fan Hyping roared. At this moment, the old man was furious. His palms were like iron palms, smashing a rank 9 corpse puppet into pieces. However, in the next moment, a few corpse puppets attacked together, blasting the old man's arms in the blink of an eye. The old man did not care. His legs swept in all directions, once again kicking the heads of some corpse puppets. Red blood dripped from the broken parts of his arms. The imperishable substance had long been used up. The golden body had exhausted its potential, reaching its limit. After guarding the Magic City catacombs for decades, witnessing the destruction of the Magic City catacombs with his own eyes, the old man had always felt that he had no regrets in this life. However, at this moment, the old man was not willing to die just like this. Behind him, there were more seriously injured comrades. In this life, I have fought more than 1,000 battles. Even if I die, I will not die in the hands of the dead. The old man's gaze was as sharp as a sword. The intention to die was evident in his eyes. He looked at Gu Qing and the others behind the corpse puppets. He was not willing. Even if he were to die, the old man wanted to bring a living person with him, not a dead one. The Grandmaster whom he had his eyes on could not help but take a step back. His eyes were filled with fear, and he did not dare to move forward. At this moment, the human martial artists and the overseas immortal islands had reached the final stage. These powerhouses were also not willing to fight with them at this time. They had seen the ruthlessness of the human martial artists. Although their teamwork was not as good as the God's Court army, their fighting spirit and ruthlessness were stronger than the God's Court army. This group of new martial artists who had risen to power only a few decades ago was more terrifying than the God's Court army, who had been fighting since ancient times. On the other side, Grandmaster Feng Yu was also laughing hysterically. His laughter was hearty, but it lacked a bit of vigor. He was injured. Very, very heavily. Half of his head was shattered. Right now, it could not be healed at all. Did he regret it? He had never experienced a battle like this in Shishan for many years. He had never suffered such a heavy injury. Did he regret walking out of Shishan? No, he did not regret it. He was also unwilling to accept it. He was unwilling to accept that he could not kill more enemies. He was unwilling to accept that his strength was so weak. At this moment, he wanted to, but was powerless. Fong Ping, the old man suddenly roared, laughing maniacally. I've always wanted to change my surname. I don't want to have the same surname as you. But my first surname was Fong. Mother Fastersker, if you want to change your surname, why do you have to make me change it? Boom! Fong Ping blew up a corpse puppet with a punch. The golden bones in his hand began to crack. Hearing that, he laughed heartily. I won't change it. If you want to change it, then change it. If you don't, then forget it. It's your honor to have the same surname as me. What's there to be pretentious about? Son of AB asterisk Tisich. You're not a son. Ha ha. You're so much older than me. Your grandson will have to call me uncle when he sees me in the future. Neo-martial artists faced death calmly. They were not afraid of death. Even if they were usually afraid, they would not be afraid at this moment. They only had regrets and unspeakable unwillingness. They had not done their best. At this moment, Yu Wuhua, who had turned pale, swung her sword in all directions. She no longer pretended to be profound. She also laughed happily. I am Yu Wuhua, the third-generation chief of Immortal Inquisition Island. Today, even if I die here and don't have much time left, I will make friends with all of you. All of you are heroes. It's a pity that I, Yu Wuhua, was born too early. If I had known all of you back then, Wuhua's husband might be among you today. I will die with my husband. Wuhua has no regrets. I am Wuqi Li, the strongest under the true god of the water gods. Fong Ping, did you eat my ancestor's flesh or not? That damn cat actually made my ancestor lose so much flesh and blood. I'm not dead. Sooner or later, I will take revenge. Just go. Fong Ping laughed heartily. I am Dragon Island's Long Xian, under the Dragon Emperor. Long Xian greets everyone. I am Yun Wuyang, the third-generation direct descendant of Cloud Mountain Immortal Island. Everyone, if anyone is lucky enough to escape, tell my father that Wuyang has also killed 5 people from origin. He did not bring shame to the Yun family. The powerhouses, one by one, shouted loudly. Was there any unwillingness? Yes. But at this moment, seeing that the neo-martial artists were not afraid of death, did they, the old antiques, need to be so afraid? Fang Ping, 21 years old. Li Changsheng, 61 years old. Wu Quishan, 65 years old. Wu Chuan, 70 years old. These neo-martial artists, the young were weak, the old were barely 100 years old. If they could be calm, did they want to embarrass themselves again when they were about to die? Outside, the corpse puppets, Di Hao, Qi Huanyu, Gu Qing, and a few other powerhouses stood in the air. Among the crowd that was wrapped in corpse puppets, voices came out one by one. There were familiar people, there were unfamiliar people. At this moment, Gu Qing suddenly sighed. After this war, there are not many geniuses of that generation left. In their generation, there were many geniuses. Luo Yu Yuhua. These people were all people of their generation. Thinking back, they were also famous in the three realms. And now, these people of the same generation who had survived the great battle were about to die in this battle. The number of corpse puppets gradually decreased. Before, there were mountains and seas. Now there were a lot less. But the powerhouses that were surrounded were also decreasing. The injured did not die and continued to fight. Their injuries were too serious, and they were all dragged to the center. The surrounding defensive circle was getting smaller and smaller. Previously, there were more than 350 people left on both sides, and there were close to 200 people who could fight. Now, there were only about 300 people left. The number of people who could fight was less than 100. When Qi Huanyu saw this, he looked at Di Hao and Gu Qing and said in a low voice, "Both of you, the situation will change if you delay. Now that they have reached this stage, it's time for both of you to attack." If this went on, they might be able to completely kill Fang Ping and the others. But it would take a long time. If Di Hao and Gu Qing's people attacked, they would be destroyed in no time. Gu Qing saw this and frowned slightly. Hall Master Qi, why make unnecessary sacrifices? They are not afraid of death and can't wait for our people to go forward. Is it necessary to self-destruct, to kill the enemy even before they die? Among the three sides, they were the weakest. Now, however, the three sides were equal. The catacombs only had more than 200 powerhouses. They were about the same. The Divine Court Army and the True God Corpse Puppets were about the same. That was the only way to balance the combat strength. Gu Qing was very satisfied with the current situation. He did not want his people to die at this time. Qi Huanyu had suffered heavy losses. Gu Qing was not willing to let them suffer the same. Di Hao glanced at the pale blood armor warriors and said calmly, "I can't let them die now. They have expended a lot of energy. If they join the battle, they will most likely die." He understood that Qi Huanyu made sense. A long delay would mean trouble. Now, however, the Divine Court Army's blood armor warriors had expended a lot of energy. To maintain the Great Seal Formation, they had expended a lot of energy. The Great Seal Formation had a lot to do with the fact that so many rank 9 powerhouses have been fighting until now. The Great Seal Formation was said to be able to seal even heaven and earth. Right now, the auras of the powerhouses fighting here were sealed in this small space. That was why the Great Seal Formation had not erupted. Otherwise, it would have erupted a long time ago. Hall Master Qi, too many people have died here. Most of them are Tao of origin. If you undo the seal now, the Great Seal Formation might erupt instantly. Are you sure you want my people to undo it? Qi Huanyu's eyes flickered, and he snorted inwardly. Previously, Fang Ping and the others had only targeted the people of Divine Land, causing them to suffer heavy losses. Previously, the strongest force was now on par with them. Qi Huanyu was also heavily injured, which made him feel slightly uneasy. However, he heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that the Divine Court Army had expended a lot of energy. Although the three parties were working together, it was only temporary. Everyone had ulterior motives. He did not want one party to dominate. "I have to recover my strength as soon as possible." Qi Huanyu was suddenly not in a hurry. It was better to wait. His Tao of origin was in chaos. He had to recover now. When Fong Ping and the others were eliminated, his injuries might recover. When that time came, he would be at his peak, and he would have more confidence. With that thought, Qi Huanyu was no longer in a hurry. The massacre was still ongoing. At this moment, outside the Great Seal Formation, far away, inside a stone mountain, everyone could see the inside of the cage-like sphere. Li Hansong's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. "Old Wang, are you still not going to make a move?" Li Hansong could not hold it in anymore. He was panicking. Fong Ping and the others were surrounded, and many of them had died in battle. When he saw another human rank 9 self-destruct, tears welled up in Li Hansong's eyes. "Old Wang, let's go." Mother Kerr, are you that afraid of death? Have you forgotten who saved your instructor? Who accompanied you to the Emperor's tomb? Who helped you elevate your rank regardless of everything? Mother Kerr, Li Hansong was restless. He wanted to rush out a few times, but Wang Jinyang held him down. "Shut up!" Wang Jinyang barked coldly. He squinted at the front and said coldly, "Stop talking nonsense. Idiot, we can't break the cage now. Wait a little longer. I think those blood armor powerhouses can't hold on much longer. Wait a little longer. Old Yao and I will work together to break a small hole in the sky. You go in quickly. Let me remind you, if you go in, you will definitely attract the attention of the 3 top-notch powerhouses in the sky. If the 3 of them attack together, you might be smashed into minced meat." Li Hansong was overjoyed. "They're going to attack? It's okay. I'm not afraid." "Idiot!" Wang Jinyang scolded again, gritting his teeth. "It's okay if you die. If you die, how are we going to save them? Remember, the heavenly god fruit must be delivered to Fong Ping. I think his mentality is severely damaged. He can't even use the golden house anymore. Let's try everything we can. I don't know if the heavenly god fruit can elevate his mentality to 10,000 hertz. If it can, when his mentality reaches 10,000 hertz, it will make his flesh stronger. Once the golden house recovers, it will become stronger too. It can even trap powerhouses like Qi Huanyu. When that time comes, there's hope. It's better to try than not." Li Hansong took a deep breath and stopped scolding. He calmed down and gritted his teeth. "How much longer?" 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds. I don't have the confidence to break the hole now. "All right, you guys be more reliable. I'll go over first. Once you guys break the hole, I'll go in immediately. Don't worry, I have Emperor armor, a divine weapon. Can those beasts kill me?" "Be careful," Wang Jinyang exhorted him. Yao Qingjun also said in a low voice, "The time it takes to break the hole is extremely short. If you don't seize the opportunity, we only have this one chance. When we're discovered, we won't be able to do it anymore. Li Hansong, whether we can save them depends on you, not us. Understood?" Li Hansong took a deep breath. Pressure. Extreme pressure. If he could not enter in an instant and seize the opportunity, Fong Ping and the others would be surrounded and killed. He did not know if the heavenly god fruit could advance his mentality to 10,000 hertz. He would give it a try. Li Hansong sneaked over there. The blood-colored longbow appeared in Wang Jinyang's hand. Waves of blood surged on the longbow. His face gradually turned pale. Yao Qingjun did not say anything. The long spear turned into a long arrow and landed on Wang Jinyang's longbow. His face also turned pale. With the combined strength of 2 people and 2 divine weapons, there should be a chance to break a small crack. The seal now was not as strong as it was at the beginning. If Li Changsheng could still use the life sword, he might be able to break the hole. 10, 9, muttering in his heart, Old Wang said quickly, "Old Yao, if it doesn't work, take Ironhead away." "Got it. Tell Ironhead to stop being so stupid. Look for Old Cat and ask where the Heavenly Realm ruins are. Recover your strength. Avenge them." "Got it. Break." A low roar was mixed with the sound of space shattering. Buzz! In the void, a black crack appeared, extending all the way to the top of the cage in an instant. Red blood gushed out of Wang Jinyang's mouth. Yao Qingjun's head exploded directly. It recovered in the blink of an eye, then exploded again in the blink of an eye. At the same time, a golden silhouette dashed into the sky at top speed. Almost at the same time as the long arrow hit the cage, the golden silhouette arrived at the same time. Boom! A pair of iron fists and the long arrow bombarded the seal together. Crack! A faint cracking sound was heard. Break! A low roar resounded through the sky. Crack! A hole appeared. The golden silhouette entered it instantly. Kill! A loud roar echoed in all directions. Someone had broken in. The moment the long arrow fell into the seal, Fong Ping's eyes lit up instantly. He roared, "Reinforcements are here! Kill! Kill! Kill!" Morale was boosted. Everyone who was dispirited just now was roused at this moment. In the blink of an eye, there were less than 100 people, but they killed until the void shattered, and the black cracks connected. From all directions, the cracking sounds rang out incessantly. In an instant, the hundreds of corpse puppets in the outermost circle were cut into pieces by the countless cracks. Boom! In the sky, Di Hao and Gu Qing attacked at the same time, charging toward Li Hansong, who had dashed into the seal. Di Hao's expression was ugly. A mere rank 1 and 8 dared to break into the great seal of heaven's formation. He had a death wish. Qi Huanyu was still recovering, so he did not attack. However, with his and Gu Qing's strength, killing a rank 8 would be too easy. It would only take one move. The blood-colored spear pierced toward Li Hansong immediately. An earth-shattering boom was heard. Under the armor, Li Hansong's internal organs were shattered. A large mouthful of golden blood spurted out, but he grinned and laughed. Motherf asterisk Kerr, can you penetrate my emperor armor? It can't be. At this moment, Li Hansong suddenly felt his mentality being torn apart. His vision blurred for a moment. Then a section of his tongue was spat out. Li Hansong's eyes were lifeless. Gu Qing's mentality attack almost tore his mentality apart completely. I want to give you the heavenly god fruit. I can't die. Li Hansong roared in his heart. He roared, "Get lost!" At this moment, it was as if a ferocious tiger had awakened. Li Hansong threw a punch. His right fist was crushed, but the blood-colored spear was sent flying backward. This roar completely shattered Gu Qing's psychic energy that was about to attack him. In the blink of an eye, Li Hansong landed in the middle of the crowd. At this moment, Wu Chuan and the rest exploded one after another. With a furious roar, they charged toward the two people who were chasing after them in the air. Demon Martial Sword. At this moment, they used a combat technique that Fong Ping had never known before. Demon Martial Sword. He did not know that this combat technique existed. No one told him that the combat technique created by the old vice-chancellor in the past was Demon Martial Sword. The powerhouses who had learned this combat technique were only his few students and people like Wu Quishan, who were not students, but were more like students than students. As soon as this sword was unleashed, its power was displayed. The sound of metal tearing through flesh was heard. Di Hao had just rushed over when his golden armor was cut into pieces. His flesh disappeared instantly, and his right arm fell off. Di Hao's expression changed drastically. Without another word, he flew backward. At this moment, he could not care less about the few MCMU powerhouses falling down. Gu Qing, who was originally ready to rush over, was also shocked when he saw this. He quickly retreated from the battle circle. These people still had the strength to fight. Bang! The sound of something falling was heard. At this moment, 3 powerhouses fell to the ground. Tianmu, Wu Chuan, Wu Quishan. The 3 powerhouses from MCMU had just performed a sword together. It was a little similar to a joint attack combat technique. When they erupted together, even a true god powerhouse like Di Hao could not block it. His right arm was severed. Not only was it severed, but at this moment, Di Hao was constantly recovering. However, it seemed like he had suffered a permanent injury. The flesh of his right arm could not recover. At this moment, Di Hao's expression changed. In this way, his combat strength would also be affected. A martial artist was missing an arm. He was still using a spear with his right arm. It did not affect him much against ordinary powerhouses, but against top-notch powerhouses, his combat strength would definitely be greatly affected. D***. D Howe's expression was gloomy. He looked at the three people who had fallen. These three people, individually, none of them were a match for him. However, at this moment, under the condition of serious injuries, they exploded with extreme combat strength. The three of them had severed his arm. He could not even care about Li Hansong, who had just fallen into the camp. At this moment, Fong Ping similarly could not care about Old Wu and the other two. The moment Li Hansong fell into the camp, he pounced on him abruptly. Without a word, he stuffed something into his hand. Then, the divine armor dissipated. His flesh exploded continuously, falling among the wounded at the back. Eat! Li Hansong uttered this word soundlessly. He grinned. Then his cheeks exploded, revealing his golden skeleton. It was extremely terrifying. Fong Ping did not utter a word. Without another word, he swallowed the thing in his hand into his stomach. Li Hansong did not care about his life and forced his way in just to deliver this. He did not care what it was. He would eat it first. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.